From the O.co in Oakland, California, Root Sports brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight's game is the first of 4 over the weekend with the A's. Scott Feldman gets the assignment to turn things around for the Stros, who continue to stumble on the road. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you. And Blummer, I am looking for some analyzation right now. The Astros are 20 games over 500 at home. 9 games under on the road. Tell me why. How do you turn this around now?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think one of the things we talk about how young this ball club is, what a surprise it is to have them in first place. They are talented. They are good. The numbers are being put up. But for me, it might be just an age thing. But for right now, we've seen it in that Texas series. No timely hitting to back up some of that good pitching that kept them in the game.
So home versus road, you get a chance to see the records lately and some of the differences in the numbers.
Yeah, that second number for me, run differential, -15 on the road. That explains a lot right there. That's why that record is so drastically different at 3-13. But the hits aren't coming through. They scored 9 runs in that first game against Texas where the pitching staff didn't pick them up. But the next 2 games, the pitching staff actually did pick them up, allowing 4 runs. But the Astros got stuck on that number 3, were unable to come over it. But they've actually had a ton of base runners. That's why I say that the timely hitting to get those clutch RBIs is not happening on the road for whatever reason.
Our AT&T Rewind looks back earlier in the year. Back in late April, the Astros came into Oakland and had it their way, sweeping the series.
Yeah, and this is when they were getting those timely hits. They did get those base runners on. There was some quality at-bats going on. Guys were getting on base late in ball games, and they were getting those clutch hits. 3 home runs in that series earlier in April. A 3-game sweep where the Astros came in here trying to turn the tide around over what happened the last couple of years when they were taking a beating from the Oakland A's. So hopefully, as good as things were then, they can be that good again here next time around in Oakland.
Coming up, if the Astros are too legit to quit in the American League West, there's no better time than the present for Evan Gattis and company to drop the hammer on the A's in Oaktown for the 2nd time this year. You can't touch that remote. Astros baseball is next.
The Oakland A's George Springer and Marlon Gonzalez join me for the traditional sunflower seed shower. Thank you guys for this. It's good luck or something. They've had some tough games here against the Texas Rangers recently, but that hasn't been the story against the Oakland A's, who they will see tonight. It's our lows that never stop improving as we look at how far this Astros team has come against this particular team. Really struggled with them in 2013 and even the beginning of 2014. Look at these numbers. The record 4-20 in those first 24 matchups, but 14-9 in their last 23. Of course, they swept them the last time they were in Oakland, and they've won 5 out of 6. 5 of their last 6 right here at HOU. But the runs per game going up, the run differential, incredible how far this Astros team has come. Starter ERA obviously tells a story there with dropping to 3.60 for the starter. Scott Feldman going tonight. But this is a team where the Astros are trying to keep out of the playoffs, guys. Ashton Blummer, you remember the storylines. These Astros are trying to play well against the team just to spoil things for the Oakland A's. But now the tables have really turned. The Astros have to watch out for a team like the A's, don't you think?
No doubt about it, Julia. And thanks. And get your hair cleaned up a little bit now after the guys get done with it. I mean, that is really kind of the story. Coming in earlier this year, Blummer, the Astros were able to take care of business. They won all 3 games. It turned into a great road trip for the club. They had gotten off to that terrific start on the road. It's turned around, but they'd like to turn that again. But that trip might have meant a lot to what has happened with the Astros this year.
Yeah, they'd like to rekindle that spark that they had starting out the season when they went on that road trip. Nice and refreshed. And remember, Carlos Correa was not on that ball club, so now they have the addition of him and Jed Lowry back in that lineup. So some pretty potent bats, getting that lineup a little bit deeper. Preston Tucker, unfortunately, unable to get in there. But my memory is that they got those big hits. Yeah. They stayed in those games. The bullpen did a good job of shutting down the offense and keeping them in the games, and then just some big hits led to those wins, and then they took off.
Marlon Gonzalez and Evan Gattis with some big late game hits. And so now tonight's starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For the Astros, Jose Altuve in the top spot, followed by Carlos Gomez in center field and the shortstop Carlos Correa. Middle 3, Jed Lowry at third. In right field, Colby Rasmus. And there's Evan Gattis. He's the DH. Bottom 3, first baseman Luis Valbuena, Jason Castro behind the plate, and Jake Marisnick in left.
Aaron Brooks going for the Oakland Athletics. Came over in the trade that sent Ben Zobrist to Kansas City. You look at his numbers briefly. I'm sure you'll get another shot to look at them. There you go. Came over. That Ben Zobrist trade, only making his second start of the season. Pretty good numbers. Has all 4 pitches: fastball, curveball, slider, changeup.
And Jose Altuve down in the count quickly, 0-2. The Astros, of course, coming out of Arlington, Texas last night, a late night flight flying into the San Francisco area. And the Astros took it on the chin, 3 straight, as that road record continues to lower for the club. They have had a rough go away from Minute Maid Park, and an early strikeout to start it now on Jose Altuve.
Here at HOU, you're going to see Coco Crisp in left, Billy Burns in center, Josh Reddick out in right field. On the left side, Brett Lawrie and Marcus Semien. Eric Sogard at second base, Ike Davis at first, and All-Star Stephen Vogt behind the plate, working with Aaron Brooks.
So Aaron Brooks picks up a strikeout as he faces Altuve. Carlos Gomez at the plate. And hits one hard, but hooks it foul down the left field side. 7:08 the game time start tonight, 66 degrees, and that is very pleasant for us after those games around 100 degrees in Arlington.
Gathered a lot of moisture in that series in Arlington. It's good to shed that.
You're at it early tonight, aren't you?
Such a difference. I mean, how about packing for this trip? Are you kidding me?
You're just right up the road right now. A bunt on the third base side, and a good one, and no play coming from the third baseman Brett Lawrie. It'll be a 1-out single for Carlos Gomez, and that's the first time we've seen him lay down a bunt.
It's good to see. Carlos can do it all. We know he can run. Plays a great center field using those wheels, but what a nice little asset. You can see how far behind the grass that Lawrie is playing, and I think that's why Carlos Gomez made the decision to bunt, because that really wasn't that great of a bunt. So you can sniff it.
I think he picked up speed after he got by the bag there.
Yeah, he needs a longer runway.
1 out. Gomez aboard. Carlos Correa at the plate. Got things started in a big way in Arlington in game 1. Homering down the left field side off the foul pole. He is now 0 for his last 11 as he tries to get the bat going again, but there has been no slump at all with the leather. One great play after another at shortstop. Gomez always a threat to run. As Correa breaks his bat on that foul ball, it's 0-2 quickly.
Got a little quick on that pitch. The velocity from Aaron Brooks, you're going to see his fastball around 90 to 92 miles an hour. Slider. Changeup's been doing pretty good. Average against that changeup for Aaron Brooks is a $125 right now.
Brooks came up with the Royals last year just briefly, a couple of games, made one start. Lasted just 2 2/3 innings total and allowed 13 runs, all of those earned. And so, you know, that's not going to result in a very good ERA. He headed home last year with a major league ERA of 43.88.
Can only get better, I hope. You didn't think he was telling his friends about that?
I have a feeling he kept quiet about that stint in the big leagues. 0-2 on Correa.
Talk about the pitches from Aaron Brooks here. You got to look at the usage in his last start. A lot of fastballs, using it to set up those other pitches, but likes going to that changeup. You can see throwing it 25% of the time. Probably had a pretty good feel for it too. That has a lot to do with it. 3-pitch pitcher, it looks like.
Behind the A's pitching this year, the defense has committed 92 errors, the most in the major leagues. And much of that coming on the left side of the infield. Marcus Semien, the shortstop, 29 errors. Brett Laurie at third with 20. And there's a soft liner going to drop in left field for a base hit. So that snaps the 0 for 11, digging for third, and making it with a dive is Carlos Gomez. Runners at the corners, 1 out for Jed Lowry.
How about that? Not only Carlos Correa again with another good 2-strike at bat, Carlos Gomez just running right in the face of Coco Crisp. Take a look and see where that 2-strike pitch in the strike zone, brought to you by MD Anderson, is. And that fastball inside, he's done such a good job of pulling those hands in. Worked his tail off last year to get better at it. Guys keep trying to beat him in there, and he keeps getting hits. But here you get a good look at what Carlos Gomez was looking at. He didn't see Coco Crisp being aggressive to go get that baseball. Took advantage of it.
Speed on the base paths. 1 out. Lowry has hit in his last 4. Of course, a former member of the Oakland A's. And out in front on that changeup that you talked about, Blummer. He's got a good one.
He does, and the A's might have a little bit of a book on what Jed Lowry can do, having faced him a bunch of times and had him on the ball club, see him on a daily basis.
The Oakland A's have pitched very well this year, despite the fact that they are in last place in the American League West, have the worst record in the American League. The A's lead the American League and rank 6th in the majors with an ERA of 3.45. Of course, that has been the strength of the A's through the years in this ballpark.
Well, think about it. If Scott Kazmir was still an A right now, they'd have the top 2 ERA guys in the American League.
Sonny Gray being the other. Ball hit in the air, right field. That'll be handled in right by Reddick. Tagging and coming to the plate and scoring is Carlos Gomez. First run of the game, and it didn't take long. 1-0 Houston.
We had a little bit of a collision out there between the umpire. I believe that's Jeff Nelson and Ike Davis, who was coming in for the cutoff, but a good start for the Houston Astros. How nice is it to have Carlos Gomez make it all the way to third base and allow Lowry to get a sac fly on that. Does a good job of going down and getting underneath that. Driving that ball in the air to the outfield with a runner at third base is such a good thing to do. There you go. A little meeting middle of the diamond up here.
Who's the cutoff man?
I don't know. I think they cut each other off.
So Correa still at first base. And he was on the move a good deal in that series in Arlington.
I think it was a good move for him to hold his ground with Lowry at the plate. Getting messed up with these Lowrys and Lowrys in the lineups.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Stay at first base and leave that hole open for a left-handed hitter.
Showing bunt and trying to drop one on the third base side. Colby Rasmus. Colby in the 5 spot. Carlos Correa now has 8 stolen bases. He's only been caught 1 time, so certainly a threat to run. Yeah, the Astros picking up just 3 runs in each of the last 2 losses in Arlington. So to score here in the first inning, very nice. And I'm sure Scott Feldman appreciates what he sees from the offense.
It's nice to score early, yes. But I'm sure A.J. Hinch would love to see these guys just put the pedal to the metal and score runs throughout this game. Really start piling on and adding numbers up.
And the Astros have made sure quickly that the A's staff will not pick up a shutout tonight. They're tied for second in the majors with 14 shutouts. Edging at first, Carlos Correa. And he was going to try to pick one right there.
Not a bad time to do it.
When you start edging that much, that's a challenge to get back, but he did it rather handily. With that shift on, it would mean the shortstop would be covering at the bag. Hit in the air. Left center field, routine for Crisp. And that does it for the Astros. They get a run on a couple of hits and a sac fly and leave a man after a half an inning of play. 1-0 Houston. They were chiming in a bit on the anthem as well.
I was going to say they had some nice doggy tunes going early on too.
That lineup for the Oakland A's tonight will not feature any of the dogs that we saw on the field. It looks like this. Top of the order, center fielder Billy Burns. He can fly. Coco Crisp in left field and Josh Reddick in right. The DH is Billy Butler. Stephen Vogt has been slumping lately. He's the catcher, and at third base, Brett Laurie. And at first base, Ike Davis. Marcus Semien, the shortstop. Eric Sogard is the second baseman.
Scott Feldman going for the Houston Astros. Took the no decision last time out against Arizona. Arizona going 5 1/3, giving up 3 earned runs. He didn't walk anybody in that game, which is a good sign. Pitched extremely well last time he was on the road out there in Kansas City, where he went 7 2/3 strong, only giving up 1 earned run and throwing 90 pitches in that outing. Like to see that guy show up again.
The Astros, as we mentioned, swept a 3-game series from the A's in their first visit here this year. Now soft liner, but a diving grab in left field by Jake Marisnick. And no matter where you put him, he will show some leather.
He's good. Got a great jump on this, too. Against a guy like Burns, you can see he's playing a little bit shallow. That ball kind of fisted out there to left field, but good jump by Jake. Those plays where the outfielder is diving towards the infield are not easy.
Hey, what? When you've got George Springer and Jake Marisnick in the same outfield, there are plays all over the place.
Well, could you imagine Marisnick, Gomez, Springer out there?
And then there's Colby Rasmus. It's an amazing group of outfielders.
Yeah, you gotta love seeing it on Supermo, brought to you by Mattress Firm. Airborne, full extension. It's a nice play.
See how he set himself to the side to give himself just a little bit of an angle. A heck of an outfielder. One out for Coco Crisp.
Well, for me, that angle is much like infielders trying to get to the side of a ground ball to judge that depth perception.
Agreed. Ball kind of hit right at him, but he created the little bit of an angle that was possible. Coco Crisp having a down year. Scott Feldman needs a win to get back to 500. 4-5 coming in. Tries to work it hard inside and misses. 3-1, and not a guy you want to put on base. The Oakland A's are not a bad running team. They're 5th in the league. Crisp with a big swing. It's a high fly ball to right field. Colby Rasmus in and out of the shadows there to make the play. And the second out of the inning.
Saw Jake Marisnick in left field. Colby Rasmus in right. Playing in center is going to be Carlos Gomez around the infield. Ex-Oakland A. Jed Lowry is going to be at third base. Carlos Correa, of course, at shortstop, working up the middle with Jose Altuve at second base. Luis Valbuena back out there at first base, and Jason Castro, the Astro, up near his hometown at the Castro Valley doing the catching.
Yeah, you got the battery from around this area.
Yep.
Scott Feldman lives in the area.
He's a Burlingame guy, I believe.
And I don't know the area well enough. Is that right nearby?
That's who we need to call for our hookup at the Olympic Club.
I mentioned it the other day, but I got shot down.
I didn't hear that.
No,
that would have been all over it.
We'll have that discussion. 0-1 the count on Reddick. Really the one guy that's had a solid year for the Oakland A's this year. Had a slow start last year, but very good right fielder. And swings a dangerous bat. Feldman now making his 4th start after being activated from the DL. Another fly ball. Marisnick's there. And that'll do it. A 1-2-3 first inning. All fly balls for Scott Feldman. 1-0 Houston. Astros still in front despite the 3 straight losses to the Rangers. 2 games in front of the Angels, 5 over the Texas Rangers. The Astros had a chance to drop the Rangers right out of that race, but now it's a 3-team race and in the wild card. Angels have the lead just a half a game. The Blue Jays, Orioles, and Rangers trying to make some noise.
Yeah, there's going to be some fluctuation in those numbers. Just if you're an Astro, you want to make sure that you're on top of that heap no matter what the numbers get. You still got a while until you get into September. When you get into September, that's when you need to start really paying attention to those win-loss records.
Evan Gattis leads off here in the 2nd inning. Gattis, the DH tonight, hitting .245 on the season, 60 RBIs now for Evan, and that leads the club. Has a 1-1 count.
Tell you what, Aaron Brooks early on here has a pretty good slider going.
Getting some swings and misses. Jose Altuve second on the club in RBIs at 48, so Gattis has a sizable margin there, and that's a good slide piece. One and 2 on Evan. The Astros picked up that run on 2 hits in the 1st inning. Bunt single by Carlos Gomez. Carlos Correa with a base hit moved Gomez from 1st to 3rd, and then the sac fly by Jed Lowry to pick up the run. Gattis stays alive. 2-2 the count. Yeah, I would think the early report on Brooks would be best pitch slider, and make sure you try to stay back up the middle, maybe right center against him. It's Gattis, Valbuena, and Castro here in the inning. Big one hopper to 3rd base for Lowry. And the first out of the 2nd inning. That brings up Luis Valbuena, the team leader in home runs with 20.
Number 18, Luis Valbuena.
And when you talk home runs around the major leagues, the Astros lead all clubs. 152 long balls.
Ryan McTaggart tweeted out a number that I thought was interesting. With 2 strikes, Astros have hit 55 home runs.
Liner dropping in right field. That's a base hit. 3rd hit for the Astros. A 1-out single brings up Jason Castro. And good to see this bat start to pick up some hits.
Man, you ain't lying. If he can start getting some knocks, getting on base, that'd be a beautiful thing, because we know the thump is in there. We just need to get that average going and get him on base a little more often. Good swing. Nice, short, compact. Didn't have that big uppercut that we've seen early on in the season.
Castro stands in 0 for his last 7. But over the past week plus, Jason Castro has seen that bat get hot. Hank Conger hit the team's first grand slam. That came on the recent homestand. And then Jason Castro came up with another. That came in Arlington. Part of that 12-9 loss to the Rangers in Game 1. Ground ball right side. Backhand flip is offline. And now everybody's safe. Valbuena digs for 3rd base. And we talk about this error-prone defense of the Oakland A's. There's another one. And that's big for the Astros, and now sets up an opportunity to pick up a little more run damage against the A's here in the 2nd inning.
Take the outs when they give them to you. Got a couple runners on base that don't run very well, so make sure you get that lead out in Valbuena. Worst case scenario is this, when you flip it away like that. But if he just gets that lead out in Valbuena, you've got 1 out and Jason Castro at 1st. Now you've got another runner at 3rd base, less than 2 outs.
So it's a fielder's choice, allowing Castro to reach. The E4 allows Valbuena not only to get to 2nd, but all the way to 3rd. And now 1 out for Jake Marisnick. And Jake 0 for his last 8. Pickoff throw like that to me feels like just confusion on the mound.
I've seen guys do it where they don't like the sign they got from the catcher, so they'll just give a courtesy pick over and try and reset the signs.
Take another peek at that previous play with a good second baseman, Sogard, making a big mistake.
He doesn't really set his feet to make that backhand flip, so when you're going forward, you try and overcompensate and flip it backwards. But when you see guys trying to make a flip from that distance, usually they try and circle it and get their momentum going towards the base they're going to flip it to.
Marisnick has a good swing, fouls it back. 1-1 the count.
That error snapped a 52-game errorless streak for Sogard.
Yeah, he's a good second baseman. It's the left side of this infield that has just coughed it up this year.
29 errors at shortstop is not good.
Pitch in the dirt. Stephen Vogt able to keep it there. Well, there's a guy that got off to a really good start on the season, up to that All-Star break, and has hit the skids since. He's been a good defensive catcher, though. He's thrown well. And the Astros certainly have to keep that in mind as they approach this series. It's not an easy series in which to try to steal some bags. In fact, overall, the Oakland A's have caught 36% of the would-be base stealers over the course of the season, so really good in that category. And now 2-2 on Jake. Oakland A's are hard to figure, because a lot of seasons you feel like they've jettisoned so much of their talent that they're not going to be any good, and then they turn out to be the class of the division. Marisnick takes strike 3, and that's costly. 2 outs now, and it's back to Jose Altuve. But this year, when you thought, well, maybe they're going to be tough again, it has just kind of imploded.
You just tip your cap on that one. That's a nasty pitch in a 2-strike count. You try and fight off as many pitches as you can out over the plate. That's just a money pitch from Brooks to get that strikeout. Another strikeout and an RBI opportunity. I'd like to see guys swing the bats, just put the ball in play and see what happens. Marisnick's a tough guy to double up. He can fly.
Yep.
Hits a ground ball to short. Who knows what happens?
Altuve with an aggressive swing. Yeah, and you feel for Jake. And the thing is, Marisnick is such a great outfielder that if he can get it going with the bat, he's a huge plus for the team.
He's a young kid. He's still learning.
Yep. The Astros trying to make this inning happen now.
Yeah, but I'm with you. You really can't say enough about how well he plays defensively. I see Altuve here in recent days kind of flailing at the baseball, not really sitting back and throwing the barrel at it like we normally see.
It has felt like to me that maybe he's a little further off the plate than he was during all of last year, and that front foot starts kind of diving to the plate. Just that analysis from this distance away from home plate.
2 for 14 in that Texas series. Well, that's a problem when you stand that far off the plate. At least for me, when you do that, I have a tendency to step towards the plate, and what that does is it closes off that front side, and instead of kind of like rotating through the baseball up the middle, you have a tendency to spin off a little bit trying to fight against that front hip.
2-2 the count.
But it's Jose Altuve too. He could catch fire here.
Absolutely.
And just light it up again and jump his average above 300. Swings the bat well against the A's. Swings the bat well here. He's hit safely in 16 straight games at the OAK.
He is trying to become the 9th member of the Astros offense to be in double digit on home runs this year. He's at 9.
He had one in that series early in April.
Yeah. Well, he got off to a great start, and you remember that road trip ended down in San Diego. That was when Brett Laurie got hurt. But Altuve went down there and just tore it up in that ballpark.
Yeah, I don't think he made an out in California. It seemed like.
Little tapper on the right side. Covering at the back, Brooks, and they get him. And that'll do it. The Astros let an opportunity get away as they had runners at first and third with one out. They failed to score, still lead it after 1.5, 1-0. Baseball on Root Sports is presented by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Beautiful sights here around San Francisco. Ball club staying here 7 days, as we have 4 with the Oakland A's, a day off, and then 2 with the San Francisco Giants. So settle in.
Get up there and see Coit Tower.
Have you been up there?
Years past, yeah.
Trying to remember the name of the curling street there.
Lombard Street.
Lombard Street, that's right, thanks. Billy Butler leads off in the bottom of the second inning.
You want to go ride bikes down it tomorrow?
I think I'm going to have a hard time getting my bike at this late date. Billy Butler hitting just .245. There you go. Yeah, can't you just see Jeff Blum coming down that hill? Feet up in the air with the bike, and
I want to be sure to wear my helmet with all those cars too.
Plenty of room.
It's amazing.
Ringing the little bell.
Yeah, screaming hot coffee coming through.
Two hopper to shortstop. Correa with the play, and out number 1.
To dig and do some history on Lombard Street. Why? I think the reason they built that street like that was because of the horse and buggies going around, going down the hills.
I bet the horses love that.
Could you imagine? Oh, we've got enough time here. We should go do some sightseeing.
Yeah. Now I know you've walked all around the hill to back to Ghirardelli Square and everything back there.
Pier 39.
And you can come right back over the hill. It's a great place. 1 out for Stephen Vogt, the catcher. The batting average has tailed off to .260 now for Vogt.
Before the All-Star break, 287 for Stephen Vogt. 16 games after the All-Star break, he's hitting 125.
Slices one down the left side to the seats. 0-2 the count.
Good grief, somebody went out and did their homework today, huh?
This all come today, or is this file footage?
I'm not sure. I'm giving him credit for going out there and doing it.
Hey, it was gorgeous day today.
There's no speed limit on this thing. Gotta hit the gas.
Flying right now. And Stephen Vogt, an all-star this year from the American League. Good defensive catcher, swings the bat well. Two and two the count. Scott Feldman maybe trying to utilize that inside edge a bit more tonight.
And the velocity, 91 miles an hour, that's a good sign too, because that's what we saw in Kansas City, is he had that cutter like 88, 89 miles an hour, but he backed it up with 91, 92 on that four-seam fastball up in the zone.
That'll be back in the seats. Yeah.
Even the fans are kicking it around here in Oakland.
When you talk Scott Feldman, all the stats they've got running around out there now, he's throwing the 5th highest percentage of curveballs and the highest percentage of cutters, the pitch that Blummer just was talking about there. There's the curveball, and now the count is run full. Feldman with a nice 1-2-3 first inning. That's been a real rough inning for him on the season. He's had a 7.62 ERA in the first inning on the year. Fly ball hit well to center field. This is back at the wall, and this one gets out of here. So Stephen Vogt, who has been really struggling with the bat, lights it up here in the second inning, a 1-out solo home run. And we're back tied now. It's 1-1.
That's his first home run since the All-Star break also. He worked himself into a good 3-2 count. Feldman didn't throw that pitch in a bad spot down, but Vogt's got enough pop to go down and get it, angle it. You see where Castro wanted that pitch, up in the zone.
Brett Laurie stands in and takes a strike. For Stephen Vogt, his 15th of the year. Brett Laurie, the guy that got the assignment to play third base this year. And he's had a pretty solid season, hitting .270. 9 homers. He's driven in 44. But again, the 20 errors while playing at third. Man. Big one hopper to third. Lowry to get Laurie, and out number 2.
Come get a behind-the-scenes look at Minute Maid Park. Learn all about the ballpark by visiting areas like the historic Union Station, luxury suites, the Diamond Club, and much more. For more information, visit Astros.com/tours or call 713-259-8996 to schedule your tour today.
Two outs for Ike Davis. Big guy supposed to supply a lot of power for the A's. Has just 3 homers on the year, hitting .239. Again, that inside edge against the left-hand hitter. Intriguing that Scott Feldman is a Bay Area guy and still lives out here. It's his 29th appearance now against the Oakland A's, 20th start. And so it's more than he's worked against any other club.
Spent a lot of time with the Texas Rangers in the American League West.
And the third time that Feldman is facing the A's this season. Shift on with Altuve in shallow right field. Maybe a little more aggressive Oakland A's team than we've seen at times in the past.
Seen Scott get that breaking ball over yet. It's usually a pretty good pitch for him. Takes a lot of speed off that. Loops it in there, but it keeps guys off balance.
Julia says it's raining in California.
Huh?
I don't know. Just got word that Julia was running for cover.
Guys know it's raining. That's why everyone cheered.
Oh, the drought's over.
Line shot, and it's right at Jed Lowry on that left side, positioned perfectly, and that'll do it for the A's in the second inning. They get a run on the home run by Stephen Vogt. We're tied at 1.
For Legends Weekend presented by Houston Methodist, August 14th and 15th. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of the 2005 NLCS team with a special pregame ceremony, a 2005 NLCS t-shirt, and commemorative World Series tumbler, each to 10,000 fans. For more information, visit Astros.com/legendsweekend or call 1-877-9-ASTROS today. Guys, it really is sprinkling.
Julia, you still have that umbrella up?
No. Well, when you look up, there's not really rain clouds above us. Just a little strange. I saw signs coming in, reminding people of the drought not to water their yards. So that's why the fans were probably pretty excited to feel.
Yeah, tell you what, El Nino's coming.
Well, let's hope they get some rain, but later on tonight, Astros tied with the A's 1-1 through 2 innings. Carlos Gomez had a bunt single and scored in the first inning. And the reason he was able to score, going first to third on a base hit by Carlos Correa to left field, that was a daring, aggressive move by Carlos. Two and two the count.
AJ Hinch is a Stanford guy. Probably hooking up with some old alumni.
Those guys are so much smarter than the other folks from the Pac-12.
Yeah, right. Because they nicknamed themselves the Trees.
Ah,
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Spoken by the Golden Bear. Strike 3 called on Gomez. He was heading to first base. First down in the third.
Can't get enough of this kid. That was his first big league home run out there in Chicago. U.S. Cellular Field. And that was just the beginning. Now has 13 on the season. Continues to swing the bat well. Hitting them in big spots too. You're seeing a lot of offense now, but some of the defensive plays he's made with runners in scoring position, winning runs at third base, just the athleticism. A lot of fun to watch.
I'll say straight up, he's the best shortstop I've watched this year.
Pretty easy to say.
And he's been making one play after another here in the last couple of weeks. Hasn't gotten a lot to show for some balls he's hit hard to right field, to center field, but did pick up the base hit in the first inning.
Jack in the Box takes us inside the box score as we look at Carlos Correa's first 50 games. He's got those 13 bombs we just talked about, most by any shortstop in the history of the game. 6 games with at least 3 hits and a home run. 7 3-hit games already, tied for first.
There's what he does with 2 strikes.
But how about he's tied? Did it with Hunter Pence, who did it in 2007. With the 7 3-hit games in 50 games. Are you serious?
Well, the 13 home runs way out in front for shortstops in that span.
I think Nomar had 9 through 50 as a shortstop.
8 or 9, yeah. Jeff Blum had 8, I know that. And
yeah, it was kind of cool to be mentioned in that a little bit. The last time I played shortstop was my rookie year too.
Well, they saw all the home runs and decided this guy's a power third baseman.
Either that or the way I was killing the spread.
Drive to left field. This is hit pretty well. Not enough though. Crisp back to make the play. Second out here in the third inning. Good looking hitter.
Extremely. And that's one of those things. You talk to people around the game who watch it a lot, and you're like, how do you know this kid's the real deal? And I think when you watch him hit with 2 strikes, that's what explains that he might be the real deal, is because he has such good at bats and doesn't give in. That ball was well struck, not crushed, but he put the ball in play with 2 strikes pretty firm.
It's a crazy game. You're going to make outs close to 70% of the time, even if you're one of the game's great hitters. But when you watch that 2-strike approach and the line drive, we saw a foul down the right side right there, and we've seen it over and over. He just stays on the ball. This one's hit well to left field. Crisp is back. He's on the track and at the wall and leaps to make the play. So Lowry stings it, flies to left field, a 1-2-3 second inning. Jed Lowry maybe robbed a bit. It's 1-1. As we always do, and it's dog night at the ballpark. They claim it's a world record for a sporting event, the number of dogs that have come in this evening, and everybody just loves to be licked by the dog.
The guy on the left looks pretty happy. Oh, come in for the real thing.
Well, at least the dog is well dressed.
My goodness.
He looks like he is a dog lover, doesn't he?
No kidding, right? What is happening? Is that their dog? I knew I shouldn't have worn that dog biscuit perfume.
Marcus Semien leads it off in the third. He's the 8 hitter, followed by Eric Sogard. Back to the top with Billy Burns. Feldman with a count of 1-1. Second inning home run by Stephen Vogt. The only run for the A's. The Astros scored in the first. Sac fly by Jed Lowry. Curveball hit in the air to center. Coming on hard, Gomez, and then pulls up to make the catch.
Let's see what happens here. Near the dog. Near the dog.
Second baseman.
The dog realizes it weighs close to 100. I'm out. I'm out. Can't take it.
I wonder whose dog that is at the household.
That's so funny. Oh.
I think the man of the house is going to find a hotel to stay at tonight. 9-hitter Eric Sogard at the plate. Sogard made that error that gave the Astros a chance in the second inning. They failed to take advantage. They had runners at first and third with 1 out. Marisnick then struck out looking. Altuve grounded out. And now shot to left center field. That's a hit. Marisnick was played near the line as this ball actually is pretty much straight away in left field. And it's a double with 1 out for Sogard.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Marisnick is able to even try and catch that ball. It was a line drive over the shortstop's head. But at least if he is playing straight up, that ball doesn't go all the way to the wall. But you're taking that calculated risk again with these shifts to go and get that out, that drop shot, that looping line drive. But Sogard did a good job of hitting that ball hard.
It's a pretty stroke, staying right down through the baseball. Eric Sogard almost became the face of baseball a couple of years ago. The image that Major League Baseball would show. Billy Burns fouls one back. Burns lined one to left field as he led off for the A's in the first inning, but an outstanding diving play by Jake Marisnick to rob him. The A's are 9th in the American League in runs scored, 14th in home runs, and that kind of figures with the ballpark. Down the right field line, near the line, but going foul. And the count at 0-2 now on Billy Burns.
Seen a couple better breaking balls. There's a happy Astros fan. That's good to see.
He's calling for that dog to come on over. I got a ball for you.
That's why he's smiling. The dog is not there.
What are you talking about? Such a friendly dog. That's your response, huh?
I have a dog that constantly tries to jump on my lap and lick my face, and I'm not a big fan.
I think you should have brought the dog out to the ballpark tonight. Have you ever done that?
No.
You go to watch a game, you want to watch the game, huh?
You ready for this? I think take that back. Well, I have not taken my dog to the ballpark, but my first go around with the Houston Astros, we did a pet calendar, and my wife's cats. I think somewhere in the archives is a picture of me with, I guess there are 2 cats. It was pretty special.
It's nice the way you take ownership.
They were her cats. I married into that situation.
I see. You brought the dog into the equation.
Much later.
Feldman has a nice over-the-top curveball working tonight. One out here in the third. Here we go. Now that dog's a fan right there.
It's a good dog. Sit in his seat, watch the ball game.
Mount Davis is well attended tonight. That section of the ballpark known affectionately as Mount Davis.
How do you think the dogs are handling these drums and horns and stuff?
Glad you described that.
I wanted to make sure you knew what I was talking about.
There's huge foul territory. Let's see if anybody can get to this. Marisnick does. And Feldman covers at third base, and even alertly backing in there Correa. That's the second out, and that time Marisnick playing near the line paid off.
There you go. Best run differential teams, 10+ games below 500. How does this happen? Talked about all the one-run games they're losing. They've got. That's just a mind-boggling number right there.
Was Y.A. Tittle the quarterback of the Giants at that time?
You tell me. You were going to the games.
See, you have to go and get mean, don't you? Julia was talking about all the rain. She was running for cover a little while ago.
It was very similar to a Texas thunderstorm.
Yes, it was.
Not.
Any rain is big rain here in California.
Man, you ain't lying.
And they've had a lot of fires up in the Northern California area, so that would be very welcome tonight. Coco Crisp at the plate.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of seasons out here, and fire season is actually one of them, and it is right now.
Yeah, terrible. Yeah, I hate in any way to make light of that. So, you know, if they could get some rain tonight, would be wonderful. See, there's the way you're supposed to treat your dog.
Oh, there we go. Beagle. Beagles are a gorgeous dog. I've got a Beagle Cocker Spaniel mix. She's a great dog. Chloe.
My dog Samson could probably ride on Chloe's back.
I don't know. Chloe's pushing what, 19 pounds, I think? How?
Oh, well, that's not much bigger than
Whoa.
my King Charles.
How about that? There's your doggy Bjorn.
Bjorn?
Yeah, you know, the baby Bjorn where you put your kid on your chest.
See.
That dog's got the best seat in the house.
We've got a 1-1 tie, and
yeah, but they weren't lying about having that many dogs out here. There
over 900 they were saying.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dog wants to know how many outs there are.
Did you hold up both paws?
Crisp 0 for 1. He flied to right field in the first inning. Jason Castro continues to do a fine job behind the plate.
As a catcher, how did you keep your legs fresh on a daily basis, catching that many games all year long? Because it seems like August would just be ridiculous in trying to get down and block those balls.
You know, I'm going to tell you my personal opinion. The more I played, the better my legs felt.
Really just got stronger throughout the season?
It really kind of did that way. And then when I became, you know, depending if I was playing part-time, the time spent in the bullpen, squatting and catching, was terrible on the legs. So actually playing in a game for me was much easier. Line drive, Marisnick's there, and that'll do it. Positioned perfectly on Coco Crisp. Sogard with a 1-out double is stranded at second base. And some of the fans not enjoying dog night.
by Nolan Ryan Beef. The next chance to crush Dollar Dogs is August 19th when the Astros take on the Rays. For more information, visit astros.com/dollardogs or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Speaking of dogs, there's a bunch here. Hey, do they have a bathroom for all these pups?
You bet they do, Julia. You're looking at it.
Who has to clean that up?
Colby Rasmus leads it off, fouls one back. Yeah. I think it's going to be a fun cleanup here this evening. Any more rain to report, Julia?
Are you making fun of me? No, it's actually stopped. It was sprinkling until a couple minutes ago.
There's that good changeup from Brooks.
Way to survive that deluge.
We'll keep that weather report going for you.
I lost the poncho. I'm good now.
It was that bad? You had to get the poncho on?
I saw the big umbrella go up. And
You guys are mean. I'm just reporting what's going on.
1-2. It's Colby Rasmus, Evan Gattis, and Luis Valbuena here in the fourth inning. A 1-1 tie. The Astros with a run in the first. The A's struck in the second. The changeup again, despite being left up, swung through. And the first out in the fourth inning. 4 strikeouts for Brooks.
This is a tweet we all got earlier in the game. This is a good one
Number
from
11.
Esteban Graham. Our dad caught his Jeff Bagwell's ball 21 years ago today. Bagwell's last home run of his MVP season in 1994. Strike shortened, injury shortened. But that's kind of cool. Authenticated, autographed.
That's very cool.
That's a good one to keep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff. Off-speed breaking ball in for a strike. Evan Gattis 0 for 1 on the night. First of 4 here in Oakland. And then a day off, 2 games against the Giants before coming back home. That's going to be a big homestand. The Tigers come in for 3, Tampa Bay for 4, and then the Dodgers. The only time the Astros will see the Dodgers this year. They're in for 3. The Astros then head off on a week-long road trip to the Yankees and the Twins, and when they come back home, they'll be a day from reaching the month of September. So it's starting to get there, that stretch drive. The Astros trying to figure out a way to win on the road. Three and 1 the count.
Really, the only thing the Astros need to work on is winning those games on the road. They've been playing great baseball at home. Early on in the season, they were great on the road.
Ball's ripped but foul.
Nice play, Chuck.
That's aggressive right there.
Don't let that ball play you. Play the ball.
Here's the deal, though, Blummer. The Oakland A's have struggled at home. They're 24 and 33 right here.
Yeah, they've had a tough go.
Bob Melvin, the fine longtime manager of the A's. Sometimes it's just hard to find answers on a club. Breaking ball left up and another strikeout. 5 for Brooks. 2 outs. It brings up Valbuena, and we check back in with Julia in the rain.
Thank you. Luis Valbuena is our TXU Energy Power player of the game. Getting another start at first base. AJ Hinch going to put him in the lineup the way he's swinging the bat here lately. You see his numbers, his last 5. He got that 20th home run at Texas, which is kind of the monkey off the back. It had been a long time since he'd hit a home run, and said that it was a month where he just felt like he was unlucky. But once getting that home run out of the way, settling in a little bit, we're starting to see the singles like the knock earlier, just feeling more confident and trying to get the average up at this point, guys.
Thanks, Julia. And yes, Valbuena had a base hit, lined one into right field in the second. Floats in that changeup. 0-2 the count. I would agree that Valbuena hit in some tough luck. He hit some balls sharply at some infielders, also to outfielders, but also I think he has to be honest that he had a lot of poor at-bats during that span. Right now starting to hit the ball much better, picking up the hits, and has the batting average at 210. He had been below that 200 mark for a good long while.
Well, what you were talking about, poor ABs, and then when you finally do make contact, you hit it right at somebody. That's a bad combo.
Yeah, it's certainly not going to build confidence. And there's no telling how much confidence can mean in this game.
It means everything. It's just a matter of attaining it and keeping it.
When the Astros came out early in the season back in late April and went through Seattle, Oakland, and San Diego, and went 8-1 on the trip, did those wins in Oakland potentially lead them to where they are right now? That kind of confidence?
No, I think it set the tone, because you are on the road, and winning games on the road is tough to begin with. But they were beating the Seattle Mariners, who were early on picked to win the West. They went through San Diego, who made all the offseason additions. They were supposed to be pretty good, and they beat up on them.
Changeup picks up the strikeout, 3 in the inning, 6 on the night for Brooks. Through 3.5, a tie.
Just starting here in the Bay Area. 3 more games through the weekend with these Oakland A's before a day off on Monday the 10th, and 2 games set across the Bay in San Francisco before flying home and enjoying another day off. Then a nice extensive homestand with Detroit, Tampa Bay in for 4, and the Dodgers coming in through the weekend. Be some good pitching matchups lined up in that homestand.
Tomorrow's game, another 9:05 start. Dallas Keuchel against Sonny Gray. How about that for a matchup? Josh Reddick leading it off here in the 4th inning. You see the skies. You can absolutely see why Julia is covering up down there. Ball and a strike on Reddick. Feldman, without a strikeout through the first 3 innings, has allowed just 2 hits, both for extra bases. Home run and double. Back up the middle, but the shift on has Correa in position, and out number 1. So again, it's Dallas Keuchel and Sonny Gray, 2 of the game's best right now, going at it tomorrow night. On the Saturday game, a 3:05 start, Colin McHugh against Jesse Chavez. And then Sunday, another 3:05 start, Mike Fiers in his first start with the Astros against Chris Bassett of the A's. Billy Butler, the DH, at the plate. Butler had some strong seasons with the Kansas City Royals. Big guy, and with a big guy come expectations of the power game. Really has not been that guy much of his career. Did hit 29 home runs in 2012 when he was an all-star with the Royals. Two and two, tough pitch.
It's nasty. Nice little cutter.
I wonder if the fans remember Chris Truby. This date back in 2000. Chris Truby had a career night with a grand slam and 6 RBIs for the Astros. There you see the raindrops coming down. Got him looking inside edge. Little front door job from Feldman. Second out. His first strikeout of the night.
It's pretty nasty. Second strike we saw on that outside corner. This one backs up a little bit on that inside corner. Comes back, catches that inside corner. See Billy Butler just kind of waving his hand like, you got me. There's nothing I can do to defend that.
Stephen Vogt hit the home run in the second inning. And it was a pretty good bolt out to left center field.
You see that pitch as a right-handed hitter coming in, and you expect it to keep tailing him, but that last little cut just kind of allows it to hold on to that inside corner for the call.
Back to the mound. Nice play by Feldman. And he'll get the out. A 1-2-3 inning. They'll settle in. It's a 1-1 tie through 4.
Between the Astros and Athletics. Kick off your weekends at Minute Maid Park with the best fireworks show in town, presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. The next Friday night fireworks is August 14th when the Astros take on the Tigers. For more information, visit astros.com/fireworks or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Yeah, they put on a good show. For the fifth we go. 8-9-1 for the Astros. Jason Castro leads it off. No, should we run for cover?
No, we're good. Julia may want to.
Yeah, I think she has. Castro 0 for 1, grounded into a fielder's choice in the second.
It's only going to rain for about the next 12 minutes, though, so we'll be okay.
That's what you got on your dark skies?
Yep. People in Houston have got to be giggling just a little bit when we say rain, don't they?
Ooh, well, it hasn't rained for a good long while, and it's been hot.
The guys got enough rain in the first 3 months.
It was nothing but there for a good period of time. Ground ball to second base. Sogard with the play. First out here in the inning. In between innings, Billy Butler, who was called out, started making some noise.
He was fired up. I'm not sure what about, but that's the home plate umpire, Chris Guccione. They're having it out. What I appreciate about Chris Guccione is he'll have the conversation. But I thought it was a pretty good pitch by Feldman. Good little cutter.
Yeah, it looked like it. Jake Marisnick comes to the plate, 0 for 1 with a strikeout, caught looking in the second inning, and that was a big out. The Astros had runners at first and third with 1 out, and that out left it up to Jose Altuve, who grounded out. The Astros were trying to make it 2-0 at the time. Brooks spots it well. We talked recently about Jake Marisnick and the nice start he got off to on the season. April was a very good month, but since then just cannot get it back together.
For me, he just looks a little indecisive right now at the plate. A lot of check swings, a lot of that front hip flying open just a little bit, some indecision on whether or not to pull the trigger. And that happens. You go through stretches like that where every pitch looks like it's the nastiest pitch you've ever seen. Not sure if it's going to be a strike or not.
Good swing here, but pops it up on the left side. Semien, the shortstop, calling. And 2 down here in the 5th inning. Back to the top with Altuve. Altuve 0 for 2 on the night, 0 for his last 9 now.
27, Jose Altuve.
Is that right now?
Yeah.
No kidding. Yeah, looking out toward the light towers in right center field, you can see some of the rain.
Wow.
Well, don't bring that rain too early.
This is interesting.
Line shot into left center field. That'll drop for a hit. Altuve, a good swing as he comes up with a 2-out single and brings up Carlos Gomez.
Good aggressive swing from Altuve. It was nice to see. Now he has a 17-game hitting streak in this ballpark, dating back to 2013.
Carlos Gomez.
It's good to see. Watch that front foot. Goes right towards home plate. That was that little slider. Got out and around it, hammered it.
The Oakland A's, intriguingly, are the only team in the major leagues without a rain delay this year.
Let's hope that stays true.
Allow that to continue, and as we said, bring the rain later tonight. Carlos Gomez is 1 for 2, bunt single and scored in the 1st inning, struck out looking in the 3rd. Rain and dog mixture. How's that?
Nothing like a good wet fur coat smell.
Yes. That could be the least of your worries.
What's the number 1 worry?
Well, I leave that up to the imagination. Altuve leads the league in stolen bases. Has 28, but caught 9 times. Little half swing dribbler. This is going to be tough for Laurie. And a great play to get Gomez going down the line. The Astros may challenge this one. A.J. Hinch has come out of the dugout. He's asking to just hold your horses for the moment. The Astros will check it out back inside. That was very close down at first. Trey Hillman.
Heck of a play.
Yes, it was. Looked like Hillman said he's out.
Yep.
And so the game will continue. Bang, bang play at first base. Gomez out. And that'll do it for Houston in the 5th inning. So we played 4.5 here in a little bit of rain, a 1-1 tie. Four and a half for the A's. 6, 7, 8 coming up against Scott Feldman, who's been good here this evening back in his home grounds. Breaking ball to start it to Laurie, misses. Laurie 0 for 1 on the night, grounded out to third base on dog night in Oakland. $16,172 on hand here this evening. They count them quickly in Oakland.
Gotta add 900 to that, don't you?
Dogs on hand, 900 plus. Don't shortchange the dogs.
It's gotta help your attendance.
The Oakland A's are 12th in the American League in attendance.
Feisty up there.
It's all about territory.
Yeah.
3-1 on Laurie. And a good pitch at the knees.
I don't think the A's are too happy about the strike zone, but I thought that was a great pitch too.
Excellent. Well, just get some of that ball to touch that square, or that rectangle rather, and got yourself a strike. Laurie's had in his brief career some occasions where he's gone off on umpires too.
He's a fiery competitor.
Had an occasion early on where he slammed the helmet down on the ground and it bounced up and hit the umpire, and it was not a good scene. Now in his 5th year in the major league, slams one left center field, and this one's deep and getting out of here. So Brent Laurie gets to see an extra pitch or two and takes advantage. Second home run for the Oakland A's, and they now lead it here in the 5th inning, 2-1.
Well, took out some of that anger on the strike zone where he felt he may have gotten a bad call, and he took it out on a baseball. Kind of got that buggy whip to his swing a little bit. I think that's what helps him get to some of these pitches that are down in the zone. This is a fastball down. Watch him just kind of get the hands going and then just unleash it. Good piece of hitting.
It's 10 home runs on the year now for Laurie.
Well out of here.
So they've gotten long balls from Laurie and Vogt. They've made the most of 3 hits tonight against Feldman. Ike Davis at the plate. With the shift on again now, and with that shift in the second inning, he hit a BB right at the third baseman Lowry. Two 2-0 the count. You know that A.J. Hinch would love to get off to a nice start here in this series with the A's.
Thought that first inning run would have provided a spark for that offense, but it seems now that it's going to be another tough night for the Astros to score runs.
It's 11 home runs now allowed this season by Scott Feldman. And by the way, talking about home runs, and again the Astros leading the major leagues in home runs. They failed to hit one last night. Still looking for that first one tonight. And now the walk to Davis. Still nobody out. And Marcus Semien comes to the plate.
Houston Methodist is going to help us get to know Jed Lowry. There's Jed. There's some info on Jed. Favorite player, Ken Griffey Jr. Wow, went to Tanzania, Africa. Nice. He's a big photographer. Be enjoying this night tonight, taking pictures of all the dogs out there.
I wonder if he gets out around the different cities that the Astros travel to.
Randy Johnson, Hall of Famer and professional photographer.
He's gone crazy with that apparently in his retirement days.
There's a lot of concerts and a lot of football.
Yep. He's run around the world. He's been on USO tours and
awesome.
Yeah. He's really made the most of his time. A lot of guys have a tendency of just kind of settling in and
probably just blends right in too.
Oh, I imagine it's 6'10". But, you know, he was reluctant to engage with people in his playing days, and now appears to be a much different guy.
I heard he was just hyper focused when he was in that baseball world.
I found him to be a nice guy the brief time, the half season he was with the Astros, but he was good with folks that he knew and cautious with others. I think it would be a fair word.
A rough start out there when he got traded to New York.
Ooh, man, on the streets of, huh?
Yeah.
That starts. Semien holds it back, and now 3-1 following the walk to Davis. Here in the inning, a home run by Laurie on a 3-2. Davis walks. Ground ball hits off the leg of Feldman, and everybody's going to be safe. That's the first single of the night for the A's, the fourth hit. Stopping at second, Davis. Still nobody out as Eric Sogard comes to the plate.
Ouch. Happens quick. The bummer about that is Altuve's playing right behind him. That would have been a double play ball.
Now to the Oakland A's with the 9-hitter Sogard at the plate, who's 1-for-1 with a double. Do they have him bunt?
The Astros are thinking so. Both Valbuena and Lowry playing way in at the corners.
Shows bunt and takes a ball. It's a juggling assignment down at third base when you've got somebody who can move over, and Lowry coming in and then immediately dashing back to the bag.
And again, Lowry, a shortstop by trade. This is a tough position to be in, and it's a tough read as a third baseman because you have to take into account where the ball's bunted. But another thing you got to think about is who's on the mound. Is that guy athletic enough to come over and make a play and allow you to get back to third base to get that force out?
One of the plays offensively that teams occasionally will try is turn the hitter to bunt and have the man at second take off to third as the third baseman charges in. Pretty tough to be able to get back and make that play. And now Correa takes over that assignment as this one's driven to right center field. Long run for Gomez on the move and makes a heck of a play. Tagging and moving up to third base, the lead runner Davis. But that is a gem in center field by Carlos Gomez, out number one.
No, that was an outstanding play by Carlos Gomez, going a long way and turning that into a great basket catch over his shoulder like that. But how about Sogard recognizing the wheel play was on by the Astros defense, pulled the bunt back and took a swing at it, squared it up pretty good.
Shades of Willie Mays.
Man, good play.
That play in the World Series, I believe it was, for Willie Mays. First and third now for the Oakland A's. They already lead 2-1. And Billy Burns, the leadoff man at the plate, and certainly a guy who can lay down a bunt.
And this being a first and third situation, less than 2 outs. If he puts down the bunt, you want to see him put it down towards first base.
Hops it down the left side. Marisnick doesn't have a chance. Lowry comes up just a bit short. And so Burns stays alive. This Lowry-Laurie juggle down at third base is a tough one.
Yeah, it's not fun. Checking the surroundings, see how much real estate he had left. Good job by Gomez. You see both hands out there. I think he used the chest a little bit to pin that thing in there and make sure he made the catch. Pretty athletic play.
Right on the hands, it's 0-2. And that would seem to take the squeeze attempt away from the A's. The Astros 60-49. Every time they get to 14 games over 500, they have stumbled.
The way Burns is going, you might want to see Marisnick playing over that bullpen area.
That was a good little spoil swing there. Just, if you can attempt to foul it off, that's what that looked like. It's the brain trust. Trey Hillman. Fun guy and really keeps it alive for the players. Right on the hands.
Yeah, you could say that.
The barrel went almost twice as far as the baseball.
That's tough to do. Heads up.
Not only did it snap the barrel off, but it split it as well.
Staying inside the ball, and then there's this.
Oop.
Jam. Turn around and play cricket with the other end of that bat now.
What is the deepest point in your kitchen? Billy Burns has found out his deepest point right there.
Sure has.
Yeah.
What Burns does at the dish.
Yeah, a little bit. Front hip doesn't stay quite as closed as Ichiro as he drifts. He just allows himself to drift, and the hip stays closed, and then he can flip the hands. Still 0-2. The other thing about Burns is if he does put it on the ground, you've got to be perfect in that effort to get him on the double play.
And I think in looking at the infield up the middle, you'd see how they're playing just a little bit more shallow than they normally would in a double play depth. And I'm wondering if they're trying to cut off that run at home or trying to make that ball get to them a little bit quicker in order to turn that double play.
Shallow fly ball left center field. Gomez is there. He'll make the catch. Tagging and bluffing down at third base is Ike Davis, and that throw way off line. But Davis not coming, and so it's 2 outs, runners at first and third, and Coco Crisp comes to the plate.
I think Ike Davis made the right decision, because if that throw is on line, he's out by a good 20 feet. Just kind of flicked at by Burns, but Gomez does a good job of getting behind it. And in just the few games that I've been here watching him in person, he comes flying out of that position. He does a good job, good crow hop, but just has a tendency to yank that ball a little bit.
I'd say this has been we've seen maybe 3 throws from center field, and I think each one has been yanked a bit.
It's a good arm. It's accurate, and he's got the good mechanics. It's just he's holding on a little too long.
So 2 outs, a big out for Scott Feldman, and now Coco Crisp 0 for 2 stands in. I am certain we have never seen anything like this with Coco Crisp. 0.91 the batting average, but again just 55 at bats this year.
No, but we have never seen him struggle, especially against the Astros.
Guy who has torn up Houston pitching. Switch hitter batting left. Came up with the Indians in 2002. He's played with the Tribe in Boston, Kansas City, and now Oakland since 2010. Ooh, that's a good looking curveball.
Good breaking ball.
Crisp had recently been on the 60-day DL. 3 for 8 coming in 3 games since returning. And now 2-2.
Pitch down in the zone.
It's finding a lot of the plate there. With Castro set up away, it becomes deceiving.
Credit Guccione for sticking with it.
Got to watch the strike zone and not the catcher. A little bit of rain here in Oakland this evening. A little bit of offense that has seen the Oakland A's hit 2 home runs and lead it 2-1. Quite frankly, not enough breeze. And now 3-2. The 3-hitter Josh Reddick waits on deck. Feldman takes a bit too much time. And down on strikes. Good curveball to get him. That's just the 2nd strikeout for Feldman, but he gets through the 5th inning and yields only the home run to Brett Laurie. It's 2-1 A's. the first Latin-born player to be inducted in baseball's Hall of Fame. Came on this date in 1973. The Puerto Rico native and Pirates legend was elected when the mandatory 5-year waiting period was waived after his tragic death in a New Year's Eve plane crash. And that was all in a humanitarian effort as well. The great Roberto Clemente.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Kind of like Carlos Correa is pretty good. But maybe for a wee bit longer. Carlos Correa 1 for 2 on the night. Had a base hit that led to the Astros run. It came in the first inning. Carlos Correa also from Puerto Rico. Like Jose Cruz, one of the Astros all-time greats. And now 3-0. How
about this for a historical comparison?
Say Carlos Correa fares quite well there in the first 50 games.
He's got better numbers than Clemente. That's saying something.
How about the slugging percentage and just everything?
Now we all know Clemente just went on a tear in years after that, putting up some massive numbers, but kind of puts things in perspective.
Yeah, Clemente, one of the game's great right fielders of all time, and Correa, right now, one of the game's great shortstops. Correa aboard. Again, 8 of 9 in stolen base attempts this year. Nobody out for Jed Lowry. Burns, or rather Brooks, aware of that speed of Correa. You know, a little irony. Carlos Correa is a bigger guy, probably much bigger than Roberto Clemente. Strike on the inside edge. Lowry doesn't agree.
Again, Guccione having conversation. Borderline.
Yeah, that's as close as you can make it where you're saying, was it a strike, was it a ball? Same spot. Time for a stroll.
How long before Guccione yells at him to get back in the box? That pitch a little more of a strike.
Yeah.
Barely. Roberto Clemente was 5'11", 175 pounds.
So he should have been the shortstop and Correa the right fielder, but hit in the air in right field. Easy for Reddick. There's the first out here in the 6th inning. Roberto Clemente, if it goes back a little too far for some of the folks, one of the game's great arms in right field.
Oh. I'm glad that they actually caught some of that on tape. You're able to watch some of those replays because he was a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal arm. I love watching him run the bases. I mean, he got after it.
Well, a guy that's kind of similar to that now, Carlos Gomez, as you see the energy, whether it be on the bases or in the outfield. Colby Rasmus at the plate. Has flied out and struck out. Brooks has 6 strikeouts, struck out the side in the 4th. And he wants no part of that running game from the Astros. The Astros lead the league with 81 stolen bases. There's that excellent changeup. Don't know if anybody's hit that pitch yet.
I don't think so. I don't think anybody's gotten a hit off it. Granted, there haven't been many hits in this game. Only 4 for the Astros, but it does a good job of setting it up, and it's a good pitch.
Runs have been hard to come by lately, and it leaves you with that feeling that the Astros just don't score enough, but they're third best in the American League in runs scored. There's the change again.
Bottom just falls out of that thing.
Toronto Blue Jays continue to lead in runs per game at 5.3. The Yankees just under 5. And then the Houston Astros just under 4.5. So those are the best scoring teams in the American League. Sixth inning, 2-1 the A's on top. There goes Correa, and he's caught. And now in a rundown, and the throw goes on to the pitcher, who makes a very alert play, and on to Sogard to apply the tag. And that's the second out of the inning, and the second time now that Correa has been caught stealing in his young career.
Trying to get an early jump here with 2 outs, getting to scoring position, or making the second out. I apologize. But yeah, that was a good fundamental play by the pitcher to sprint over there and follow his throw. So the throw from the pitcher goes to first base. He does a great job of following it and backing it up.
I believe that went 1-3-6-1-4. Yes. And now a 1-2 count on Colby Rasmus. So that leadoff walk turns into an out here in the 6th inning. This is what happens when you're scuffling, though. You're not hitting the long ball. You finally get a base runner, and he's a guy that can really steal the bags, and you get caught. Broken bat drive to right field. Reddick is back. He's on the track, and right in front of the wall makes the catch. On a broken bat, Colby Rasmus hits it that far. 3 hitters come to the plate. It's still 2-1. A's on top. Baseball on Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare right now at southwest.com. By Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by Big Time Bats, the Craig Biggio Louisville Slugger Hall of Fame bat is now available. Call Big Time Bats at 866-490-BATS or see it at BigTimeBats.com. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1 A's lead it, and Josh Reddick, the 3-hitter, leads it off. Feldman with the play and the first out.
Curveball in the last couple innings has been real good. A little worried about that early on with some of the pitches he was trying to throw. With that curveball, it was burying him, but now he's got that feel back.
Brings up the cleanup man, the DH Billy Butler. Grounded out and struck out. He was called out in the 4th inning. Didn't like the call, and some pretty good chirping from the third base dugout. Like Jeff Blum was saying, Chris Guccione, the home plate umpire, allowed him to discuss the matter and kept him in the game. There's that good curveball you're talking about.
Big part of the arsenal for Scott Feldman. There's a lot of fastballs, and in that fastball number, I think you've got to put that cutter too.
Yep. That's the thing. If you look at numbers, you got to make sure you're doing it the same for everybody. Is a cutter a fastball, or is it a slider, or is it a, it's just tough to be able to even see sometimes. And now 3-1 on Butler. The A's have a pair of home runs. Stephen Vogt, that came in the 2nd inning. Brett Lawrie in the 5th inning. Each solo jobs. The Astros picked up a run in the 1st inning on a sac fly by Jed Lowry, and that's been it. Up out of the strike zone. And a 1-out walk. Second walk of the night issued by Feldman.
Now batting the catcher,
Dallas Keuchel. Taking a good peek at things tonight. He will work tomorrow against Sonny Gray. A 9:05 start time. Chad Qualls now will start to get loose in the Astros pen down the right side. Three infielders on the right side. There's the breaking ball in for a strike on Stephen Vogt. That home run by Vogt in the 2nd inning, his 15th of the year. Ball and a strike. Good man to double up if you can get that ground ball. The issue is, can you get it done with that shift on? You're now 2-1. Everything else around the major leagues are final now, as the Astros are the only game on the West Coast. Cardinals shut out the Cincinnati Reds in Cincy 3-1, 3-0 rather. Some close pitches called balls, and 3-1 on Vogt. Waka picked up the win for the Cardinals. He's 13-4.
It was awfully close.
Dodgers and Phillies did some scoring in Philadelphia. 10-8, the Dodgers win it. On the 3-1, a good over-the-top yacker.
Yes, fastball count. You're waiting for a little bit of the cheese, and you get a pitch like that broken off on you. tough part about that, yeah, you swing and miss, and you still got another chance in a 3-2 count, but now it's planted that seed. Does he throw it again, or does he come with the fastball?
That's why the fastball becomes much better in this count than it was on the 3-1.
Man.
Line shot left field. Marisnik makes the play. Maybe battling some light. Second out of the inning. Take a look at that American League playoff picture as it stands currently.
The Royals are running away with it.
Yeah, they're locked in. The Yankees have played well. And of course the Astros now with that 2-game lead. It was 4 games a few days ago.
Tell you what, that wild card situation is going to be crazy going down the stretch.
2 of those teams are going to make it. Angels, Blue Jays, Orioles, Rangers, Twins. 2 of all of those teams.
Well, the Rangers jumped into the situation with that sweep of the Astros.
Yep. Yeah, that was that series where the Astros had a chance to send the Rangers basically home, but it didn't happen. Instead, the Rangers just inserted themselves in the race. Brett Lawrie with that 5th inning home run, and it was way out of here to center field. Double digits now for Lawrie.
452 feet to center field. Lawrie's home run.
Scott Feldman has thrown some real close pitches here in the inning. You mentioned the Royals. They lose at the Tigers today, 8-6. Again close and 3-0.
Fish ain't bite.
Boy, that ball just covered up the previous. Three and 1. Don't know if Lawrie was taking all the way. He was kind of aggressive with the body, but that would have been a pretty good pitch to handle.
Might have given him the swing away right there. 3-0 count. Got a bomb already today. Swinging.
Hit on the ground off the glove of the diving Correa. And once he starts diving for balls, you start anticipating now he's going to come up with it. But that one just a bit too much to ask.
That ball smoked again off Lawrie's bat.
Well, Brent Strom comes to the mound. We go to Julia Morales.
Hey guys, you were talking about the Rangers series. That was definitely a tough one for these guys. AJ Hinch saying after the game, we're going to have to just erase that from our memories, get out of town, start a new series. And Jake Marisnik saying today that we know we were better than the way we played. We're just frustrated with all the missed opportunities that we had in that series. You know, coming down to the 9th inning 2 nights ago with 2 runners on and some tough at bats for these guys. Jake Marisnik saying there's a couple of at-bats I'll remember that I'm going to have to learn from there. So hopefully this whole team learns from that and can just put it behind them and focus on the A's now.
Yeah, it would seem to be a stronger team now with Gomez playing every night in center field. But the struggles on the road, kind of the big issue of the moment.
Well, you're struggling on the road and you're losing 1-run games, so that magnifies everything. Just why isn't this working? Why didn't we get a hit there? This guy needs to do this. We're not doing this as a ball club, so there's 1-run games. Everything's magnified. If you lose a blowout, you say, well, the pitching stunk today and we didn't score any runs. Big deal. Move on. But those tight ball games are the ones that eat at you.
Yeah, I think blowouts bother the fans. Tight games, losses, those are the ones that bother the players. Ike Davis at the plate, 2 outs, 2 aboard. And 0-1 the count. Davis has lined to third and drawn a walk. Milwaukee Brewers big winners today over the Padres, 10-1 at Miller Park in Milwaukee. Oh, 2.
Pitch is elevated. Able to beat Ike up there. Kind of has a long swing with that big hitch in his swing. Tell you what, get a ground ball right here. Roll that double. I mean, get a ground ball and get out of this thing.
We were watching highlights from Jeff Bagwell over the last couple of days. We talk about big hitches, but he had a magic way of avoiding problems with it.
But I think you can have those big hitches as long as you get them out of the way early. If your timing is off and you've got a great big hitch like that, Laurie for the A's has a nice big hitch, creates that kind of buggy whip in his swing. But if the timing is a little late on that, you find these guys getting blown up or being behind on some pitches that are up in the zone.
The Washington Nationals start the day 2 games back of the Mets in the National League East. The Nationals win it over the Diamondbacks 8-3. Yankees keep on rolling. They win 2-1, downing the visiting Red Sox. Half swing. Did he go through? They appeal and bombs down at third base. That's Pat Holberg at third. There's your National League. Mets, Cardinals, and Dodgers leading the divisions. Pirates, Cubs, Giants, Nationals, D-backs. What's your biggest surprise there?
The Cubs. I was just going to say how happy those Chicago Cubs fans must be to have the Cubs in that wild card situation right now.
Down on strikes, Davis. So Feldman gets through the 6th inning. The A's strand a pair. We played 6, and the A's lead it 2-1.
It's time to play Name That Astro. This is brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Here are your clues. He's All-Conference USA and All-American College. His debut in a different position than he was drafted. And he owns a recent silver medal. Tweet us your answers. Let's see if you're right. We'll name him later in the broadcast. Guys, do you know this one?
Did you make it tough enough? That's what I need to know right now.
I think so. What do you think?
I was going to say, unless you have the answer right now, it seems pretty tough.
Well, a lot of these are tough for me. For the fans, though, see when the answers start coming rolling in. Thanks, Julia. Go to the 7th inning. The Astros down a run. It's 2-1 Oakland. Evan Gattis leads off.
How about that?
Just a bit inside.
How do you hold that? Evan didn't know whether or not to swing. It almost looks like he's trying to get hit by it.
He didn't want to duck under a whole lot, did he?
Man.
Took a hack on that one. It's 1-1. For the Oakland A's, right-hander Fernando Rodriguez gets loose. Aaron Brooks has been tough. The Astros with just 4 hits to go with their 1 run. The Oakland A's just 5 against Scott Feldman. And now the left-hander, Fernando Abad, will get up as well for the A's. Close pitch. It's a ball, 3-1. Trying to figure out in that Astros dugout, what do we do to get this thing going?
Did you see what Eric Ibar did the other day in Anaheim? I think it's that game they came back in the 9th and scored.
Where they threw the bats all over the floor. Now, we've all seen that in one form or another throughout our years. Guys will scream at the bats and take another bat and start beating on them, and just anything to wake them up. Pop up on the left side. Laurie in foul territory, and out number 1. Luis Valbuena comes to the plate. We've been talking about the Toronto Blue Jays and the fact that they seem to be a strong club. They win again as they down the Twins 9-3 the final, 58-52 now as the Blue Jays go to 6 games over.
It's a team that could go on an absolute tear.
They've led the league in scoring all year long. The question has been all along, and probably still is, can they pitch enough?
You have to define pitch enough with that offense going out there every day, because that yeah, you could give up 6 and still win.
I think you summed it up right there.
Yeah.
It's a little less so than other teams have to pitch, but that's how good their offense is. By the way, your old teammate Mark Burley picked up a win. He's 12-5 now.
How about that, huh? Doing well.
Tossing about mid-80s.
Just cutting and sliding, moving and adding, subtracting.
Does it very quickly and makes it, I would think, just fun to play along with. For the life of me, I don't understand why more pitchers don't come up with that. Chad Quall's getting loose again in the Astros pen. So maybe Scott Feldman is done for his night. Jason Castro waits on deck.
It's 102 pitches now for Brooks.
So he's probably in his last inning.
I would say so. Feldman has thrown 113.
Yeah, Scott's got to be done then.
It pitched extremely well in a ballpark he doesn't typically pitch well in.
3-2. Base runners. Valbuena 1 for 2 tonight. Had a second inning single, and he got as far as third base with 1 out, but it cratered at that point. Marisnick struck out. Altuve grounded out. High drive right center, not enough. Reddick in front of the warning track to make the play. Second out.
Follow the Astros all season with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet.
Two outs, base is empty for Jason Castro. See what the fans are saying on the name that Astro. And it's Berkman.
It's
what Kyle has to say. Ryan Michael Bourne. Scott Service from Randy.
Wow. Big on the big Puma. Was one of the clues SEC? What conference was up there? Conference USA.
Matt Downs. This must be a good one. Fans have been asking for tougher. And apparently this one was tougher.
Trying to break Google to figure it out.
1-2 now on Castro. That Carl Patterson is he's just a mean son of a gun.
Wow.
Didn't he?
Kind of like him.
Well, okay. He's the guy that came up with the question tonight.
He's going to dig to get some of these clues.
Yeah, it's true. Fans have been a little too good. Castro down on strikes. That's 7 through 7 innings for Brooks. And the A's lead it 2-1.
Rain coming down. Athletics leading 2-1. Time now for our AT&T call to the bullpen. Feldman pitched quite well, and now Chad Qualls is on the mound.
39th game for Chad. That 4.13 ERA. He's been much better than that recently since fixing things in the neck. 167 batting average by the left-hand hitters against him. And I guess you would credit that running action on his fastball, the good slider. By the way, Blummer, you mentioned the Cubs earlier. They downed the Giants today, 5-4.
Good young ball club.
Cubs are 11 games over 500. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And that first pitch, the slider, just inside from Chad.
And another interesting thought is, think if the Astros are in that Central Division, they would be battling with those Cubs for that wild card spot.
About that, yeah.
Cubs and Pirates.
Simeon hits a big one-hopper to third base. Jed Lowry with the play. There's the first out of the bottom of the 7th. A little bit more coming in from the fans. Berkman, he seems to be the big vote getter tonight.
He's pretty popular. Nice, that's what you're looking for. Stumped. Huh?
Fred Wallace, that big home run hitter. Ryan Bogusevic. I didn't anticipate that name coming up tonight.
That one showed up early on my feed, and it was a great call because I do remember that he was drafted as a pitcher.
That's right. Eric Sogard at the plate. There's the inside edge. Well, you get challenged a lot as an umpire with these major league pitchers right on and off edges. Tony Sipp now loosens in the Astros pen. Down the left side, Marisnick on the move in foul territory and makes the play. 2 outs.
Our pitching performance is powered by Kubota. Scott Feldman's night. Pitching in a ballpark where he hasn't had much success. Had some big numbers, pitched a lot. Had a career 7.20 ERA coming into this ballpark, but did a great job. Didn't have the breaking ball early on, developed the feel for it later on, did a good job of going to it, but the cutter was working on both sides of the plate, allowing him to get some big outs. Keeping this ball club in the game. Only gave up 2 earned runs, and both of those on solo home runs. I apologize, both on solo home runs. But a good job of keeping this athletic offense at bay to keep his ball club in it. Still waiting for that offense to answer.
There's that running action on the fastball we were talking about. Billy Burns has really taken that center field job and run with it for the A's. Castro with the play, but it's called a foul ball. Home plate umpire stepping in right away, Chris Guccione. Burns can fly. One of those go and get it center fielders. And he's been good offensively, hitting .293. Not much power, a couple of long balls. Pops it up. Correa on the move. Marisnick is there, but Correa makes the play. And Marisnick was just about ready to dive into that one. 1-2-3 inning for Qualls. 2-1 A's.
On sale now. Guarantee your seats for a potential 2015 postseason run by reserving your 2016 season tickets today. Visit Astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. You saw Jake on that last play running in. He's been playing left field today and yesterday, and we saw him make a great catch out there. Very comfortable on the corners, even though he doesn't have that much experience out there. He has more experience than Carlos Gomez, which makes AJ put him out there when he is in the lineup, getting a little bit more playing time with Preston Tucker dealing with some soreness after being hit by a pitch. Rizek just needs to get it going offensively, though. Like I said, comfortable on the corners, so he's really helping them out defensively when he needs to. And, of course, he's willing to do whatever he needs to help this team win.
Thanks, Julia. Jake Marisnick, for me, as good of an outfielder, center fielder specifically, as anybody in the game.
For Houston, batting for Marisnick,
Jake Marisnick now will be taken out for a pinch hitter here to start the 8th inning as Marwin Gonzalez has grabbed a bat.
It's a tough pill to swallow when you're not swinging the bat well, to be pinch hit for at any point in any game. But right now I think A.J. Hinch is just trying anything to get this offense going.
Marwin had a big pinch hit in the Texas Rangers series.
Earlier in the season he came in on a double switch or late in the game, and he got picked off at first base as you look at Fernando Rodriguez's numbers, but then in the second at bat he comes up and it's a big double for a couple of RBIs to put the Astros ahead.
You know, we mentioned it at the start of play tonight, that and the hit by Evan Gattis, the two that I recall in that series that gave the Astros wins.
Good breaking ball.
Fernando Rodriguez has been tough. 35 games, allowing 24 hits in 34 innings. What does that mean? A 189 batting average against. It's a guy from Texas, grew up in El Paso, and went to El Paso Community College. Drafted originally by the Angels, 18th rounder. So you see it so many times, these guys that succeed in the big leagues that were not #1 picks. Eighth inning, and the Astros have 4 hits on the night, scored in the first inning. Scott Feldman pitches well, but not enough to this point. Tony Sipp is getting loose down in the pen.
Some more rain coming down too.
Taking a look at Marcus Semien. Marwin stays alive. I don't think I ever thought that Marwin Gonzalez would earn shifts on the infield. Offers on the high heat, down on strikes, 94 miles an hour.
Good high heater after a couple of breaking balls. Good sequence for Rodriguez.
Now batting,
Orbit's chipping in, huh?
HOU AT OAK.
Somebody actually posted on my Twitter account that it was Orbit who was the guest that Astro.
Berkman. Carlos Correa.
No.
Second one for Scott Service. Line shot, second hit for Jose Altuve. A 1-out single. And now he has hits in back-to-back at bats. And might this be a point where he starts to get hot again?
We talked about it. He's had his struggles here of recent days, but at any given moment he can light it up.
Number 30.
But a little more aggressive, and this is what we're used to seeing from Jose Altuve, is being aggressive on that first pitch. Will he be on the move, trying to steal that bag, get into scoring position, allowing a base hit to tie this ball game?
28 stolen bases to lead the league. Now the A's discuss that. Carlos Gomez at the plate. Yeah, the Astros need that bat to come alive. It's not like he's had a bad year. He's hitting near that 300 mark, but it's not the 341 from last year.
Got spoiled.
Hitting 300 now with the Astros, a homer and 4 RBIs.
Ooh, good take. I'm Carlos Gomez. I'm sitting on the heater. Got a burner at first base, and Jose Altuve, obvious threat to run. Easiest pitch for a catcher to catch and throw on is that fastball.
Got the heater and a slide step right there, making it really tough on Altuve.
I would like to revise my statement and say fastballs in the zone.
Well, that would make more sense. But isn't it crazy, though? You get just like what you were talking about. You're looking for a fastball. I'm going to get a fastball and I'm going to juice it. And the first thing you see is a fastball nowhere close to the strike zone, and you're swinging. And it just happens naturally. Carlos hasn't seen a strike yet. Altuve has 2 hits. Gomez, Correa, and Valbuena with the other hits. There goes Altuve. The pitch is high. The throwdown is high. And Altuve by the bag, but gets the bag. 29 stolen bases. And you can see how quickly Vogt gets rid of the baseball.
He does. I would have liked to have seen Semien stay on the play. Altuve slid extremely late and extremely far past that bag. Semien actually goes after him. I had a chance to get that out. Vogt did get rid of that pretty quick, but right here Semien just gives up on the play. You got to finish that off. I know the throw took you up the line a little bit.
And he tried to snap the tag down, but didn't finish it. So the stolen base has Altuve in scoring position, and a 2-2 count on Gomez. Keep coming up the ladder on Gomez. Just feels, excuse me, like every night is tough. 162 times you go at it like this. Carlos Gomez down on strikes. That's the second out, both strikeouts. That's 9 now for Houston hitters. And it's in the hands of Carlos Correa.
Tomorrow's pitching matchup is presented by Chevron. Care for your car, and it's going to be a good one. You decide to get your sleep tonight, stay up tomorrow night and watch this matchup. 2 of the best ERA guys in the game. Great records, great stuff. Look at those whips. .99 for Dallas, .98 for Sonny Gray. Similar strikeout and walk records. That should be an extremely good matchup against some offenses that are both struggling mightily.
Carlos Correa 1 for 2, has walked and then was caught stealing. Tried to get a read on Brooks, and Brooks instead read Correa better.
Wow.
Stephen Vogt with a heck of a play.
How about that? I don't know what was more impressive, the pick or the ability to spit out of his mask with it on. Nice pickup right there.
Maybe the latter.
Yeah.
But I'll guarantee you there's something hanging on to one of the bars there. 2-0, hitters count. And that spin move with nobody at the bag.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Rodriguez right now, I could care less if Altuve tries to take the bag. There's 2 outs and a rather dangerous hitter at home plate. Try and put my focus on him. I know you've fallen behind 2-0. You make a mistake to this guy, and he's going to give you Astros a lead.
Drive left center field. Back at the wall. Number 14 for Carlos Correa.
Told you.
A 2-run drive, and the Astros take the lead here in the 8th inning. And Carlos Correa continues to lead this club.
He wants to be that guy. You gotta love the enthusiasm you're seeing from this kid. He's a 20-year-old rookie putting his team on his back right now in a time they needed him most. It's been a rough stretch on the road. Lose those first 3 games in Texas. Got himself an opportunity to put this team ahead, and he does it. I can't get enough of this kid.
No,
this is amazing.
He's off the charts.
But again, Rodriguez just losing focus a little bit. Man, that is textbook. If you've got a DVR at home, just go ahead and put that on the hard drive for a very long time. That is a beautiful swing. The ball was absolutely pummeled.
Tough yard, and no doubt about that shot. So the A's go to the bullpen as Rodriguez gives up the 2-run bomb with 2 outs. Carlos Correa has this team on his back.
Your attention, please, ladies and
that score out 3-2. The Astros now lead it. Carlos Correa with 2 outs following the strikeout of Carlos Gomez launches one into the night.
Oh, it's just incredible. I can't get enough of watching this kid's. His entire game is unbelievable, but the moments that he's doing what he does is what really impresses me. There's games where he could go out there and just get meaningless home runs, put up meaningless numbers, but continually coming in the clutch, whether it's defensively or offensively. And he's hitting 3-hole on an AL best team at 20 years old and continually recognizes the spot he's in and makes it happen. It is just a beautiful thing to watch, and I am just thoroughly impressed.
51st game as Fernando Abad, the new left-hander, on for these Oakland A's. 51st game, 14 home runs, and 36 RBIs now for Carlos Correa. And he's a highlight reel at shortstop night after night.
Wow, setting the bar kind of high early for this guy, isn't he? Imagine if he continues at this pace for his entire career.
You see any reason to think he won't?
No, I have not seen a weakness. We've seen a 3-game stretch where he struggled a little bit. When I say struggled, that means he just didn't get a hit. It didn't mean he got blown up or blown away or anybody abused him. He just had some tough at bats and ran into tough luck. But Ash, he is hitting home runs in key situations. He is barreling it up.
Look,
he's not missing.
He lines balls to right field at the right time, and then he gets the big swing at the right time. He's quiet, reserved, humble, but confident.
Look at him, man.
And he knows what he's doing.
For me, and a lot of guys that I played around that really came through in the clutch and did a good job were those guys that recognized the situation. I think it was those guys that go up there and are not intimidated, not afraid of that situation. Those guys that want to be in that situation. But you know, you hear guys, oh, I just block everything out. I think it's okay for some of these guys, and I've talked to them. They go, yeah, I hear the crowd. I know they want me in that box, and I think that's part of that arrogance that you need in order to make good things happen in those pressure situations.
Yeah, agreed with everything you said. Let's check in with Julia real quickly.
Guys, on this same topic, AJ Hinch is asked usually at the beginning of every series just how Carlos Correa is doing, handling things. And again, today was asked about Correa. And he said we did everything we could to make sure that we didn't put the franchise on his back when he got up here. But he continues to defy that. And he's in the middle of the order. He keeps answering every call that they have. And he said he's one of those stay in your seat type players for the Astros fans.
He is all of that. There's no question. And now Colby Rasmus at the plate.
No, for me, I think what Julius is saying is he's defying baseball logic. He's young, yes. He's 20, yes. But then you combine that with being on a first place team and hitting 3-hole and putting up the numbers is what defies logic.
You know what else I heard there too is that though nobody attempted to put the team on his back, he's doing it through what he does on the field. He's taking it on himself. Evan Scribner now throwing in the A's pen. He's a right-hander. He just leaves you in awe. We're talking about Carlos Correa, of course. It's to left center field, and this is dropping and will drop in front of both outfielders, and now bobbled, and here comes Jed Lowry to the plate, and he will score. And that's a big run to make it 4-2 here in the 8th inning.
That is so true.
And that will likely be an error charge to one of the two outfielders there.
I think, unfortunately, it's going to be Burns out there who got his glove on that one, but some serious confusion. You have to have a lot of talk when the ball is in the air to see who catches it. But at the same time, when a ball drops like this, you've got to figure out who has it. And it looked like Coco Chris may have lost that in the lights. He was kind of wondering where it was and then didn't pick it up until it hit the ground. And by then, Burns was in the way.
And Bob Melvin, the skipper, has come back out to the mound again as we watch Jed Lowry. And he wasn't burning all the way there. Finally had to really turn it on.
And it errors again.
So 4-2, the Astros lead it. The A's go to the bullpen once again for Evan Scribner.
Astros. They're going to be a really good club for a long, long time, and they've had their growing pains, but you're starting to see it come together. They're only going to be a more challenging club for us going forward because of the phenomenal job they've done. They have such a deep farm system. That means a lot coming from a guy who originated with a money ball and creating a competitive team with a low budget. But we've talked about it several times that Jeff Luhnow has had a game plan, stuck to it, and it's really good to see it paying off.
Evan Gattis stands in against Scribner. 2 outs. All 3 of these runs coming with 2 outs. Carlos Correa, really the guy making it happen. But you know, we also have to mention Jose Altuve, that second straight hit. He got it going, stole a bag, his league leading 29th. So it takes those kinds of efforts, and it comes together when you've got a Carlos Correa in that lineup. Gattis pops it up on the right side. First baseman Davis, he'll make the catch in foul territory, and that'll do it for the Astros. But they get 3 very big runs, and after 7.5, lead at 4-2 as we watch Carlos Correa.
It's time to name that Astro, brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Here are your clues. And thanks to everyone who tweeted in answers. It's Brian Bobby 7. It was a lot of right answers. There was a lot of wrong answers, too. But that was fun. Thanks everybody for staying up late with us.
That was a good one.
Absolutely, yeah. I appreciate everybody that's staying up watching this game. That was a good one.
Yep.
Bogey.
That's what we're looking for now. The Astros leading 4-2. Bottom of the 8th inning. Coco Crisp at the plate. He'll turn around and bat right-handed against Tony Sipp, who comes on now to work the 8th.
Turn Crisp around. Righty's hitting 200 off of Sipp. Lefty's 214. Got Josh Reddick, a left-hander. Now you've got Will Harris getting loose. His man will probably be Billy Butler.
Sipp gets in front 0-2. This would be a big win for the Astros to come up with tonight. The Astros are 6-3 against the A's this year.
The Angels are idle. They'd be able to pick up a half game. But Not to mention what it would do inside that clubhouse, inside that dugout, to be able to have an exciting come from behind win again here in Oakland. Get that mojo back, get a little momentum.
Think anybody down there looks at Correa as a rookie?
No, not anymore.
Change up got him. Crisp down on strikes. First out here in the 8th inning.
Sip looked good in that AB against Crisp. Did a good job of spotting the fastball, but be able to locate that changeup in an absolutely perfect position.
Defensively, the Astros making changes as Preston Tucker is now in left field. At first base, Marwin Gonzalez, he came on as the pinch hitter. So that takes Valbuena out of the game. Jake Marisnick was out being pinch hit for. And of course, Tony Sipp on the hill. Sipp is spotting it well.
It's a good location again.
Reddick 0 for 3 on the night. And 0 for his last 17 now. Same spot.
I was going to say the same thing. Same pitch. It's probably what Josh Reddick is saying. That's the same pitch. One's a ball, one's not.
It's either 2-0 or 0-2. You
see that one outside the zone. Pretty darn close. It's not fair that we get to do that.
Ground ball left side, but right there is Lowry. Second out of the inning. Well, that's nice when that shift doesn't get beat. You've got the one guy there and the ball hits him. And now Billy Butler comes to the plate. He's walked in 3 plate appearances. Feldman, Qualls, and Sipp for the Astros. Diving stop, Lowry on his feet and gets him. And a little more defense on top of what we've seen. A 1-2-3 8th inning for Tony Sipp. And this is what it looked like for Lowry. Is presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by HEB. No store does more than my HEB. We'll be traveling. I think that's the bridge we travel back into San Francisco each night.
That is the Bay Bridge. You're not going to take Bart with me?
Are you going to catch the Bart?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's go.
Love Bart.
Let's go. We've got a...
Bart is quick. Bart goes right underneath that bridge.
We've got 1 inning to make that happen now. 4-2 Astros on top. And now Preston Tucker will come to the plate. Came on as a defensive replacement. He's batting in the Luis Valbuena part of the order, the 7 spot. So first plate appearance of the night for Preston.
He's taking a pretty malevolent BP today. I guess that arm's feeling better.
Or was he ever? He was slamming some balls around. Oh, and 1 the count on Preston. Kevin Scribner. Scribner came on to get Evan Gattis to end the 8th inning. If you miss the 8th inning, you miss the big 2-run home run by Carlos Correa. The Astros got 1 more thanks to an error in left center field by Burns, the center fielder. I believe got charged with that error. Pitch is hit high and deep right center. Not enough. Burns glides to his left. And out number 1 here in the 9th. Is it all about the rally possum? Is that what it is?
Tell you what, they've got one here at the HOU roaming around. This is back on July 21st. The bullpen didn't know what to do with it. I don't know who's more scared, that possum or the bullpen.
I guarantee I'd be long gone if I saw him come out to loosen up.
Speaking of dogs, our dog, we had out our backyard, chased one off for us the other day.
Castro's 0 for 3 tonight. I'd get myself another dog if that was the case and just have more around.
No, it's pretty interesting. We were all just hanging out, watching a movie. Dog went nuts for good reason. Saved our lives. We have to change our dog's name to Correa.
Guy's going to hop on his back and just let it all happen.
Save everybody else's lives.
High heat. A couple of strikeouts tonight for Castro on an 0 for 4 evening.
You know you're special when you're got your own account and you
How do they do that?
don't have a portable device to tweet out on.
Number 9, Marwin
The
Gonzalez.
Astros with 10 strikeouts tonight.
The Astros are better when they strike out more.
I am looking it up right now. I was going to say, and it's just amazing that you hit on that too. What's been going wrong is they haven't been striking out in double digits. They did so against Arizona on the 2nd of August. And then you have to go all the way back to July 8th against Cleveland for the last time that they had struck out in double digits. And you think about the early part of the year, it was common practice.
They were scoring as many runs as they had strikeouts. The only reason it made me think of it, I think it was yesterday's game where they had 4 strikeouts, 8 walks, and lost the game 4-3.
That's right, and a hit batter. So they had 9 freebies and lost. But yeah, that's 2 double-digit strikeout games prior to tonight in 1 month's time. Of course, it's worked out well at home, not so much on the road. How does he tweet, though? Fly ball down the right field side. Coming on and toward the line is Reddick, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 9th inning. And now the Astros try to hang on to this 4-2 lead. as we go to the bottom of the ninth. And break down all the action from tonight's game, plus interviews from the clubhouse and much more on the Astros postgame show, presented by Houston Methodist.
See that picture that was tweeted out about Bart Ennis and Mike Stanton, what they're doing right now?
No.
Those guys are crushing some food right now.
Are they?
Just chilling out, watching some big league baseball.
Is that supposed to be news?
Man, wow. I don't know. There wasn't much left on that table. There was a lot of empty boxes.
Right here in Oakland,
yes.
Luke Gregerson comes on, trying to shut down the ninth inning. Astros on top 4-2.
Correa does a little bit different crushing.
Yes, he does. And whatever he's doing to prepare, it is the right thing. Gregerson close but misses away, as Stephen Vogt leads off the ninth inning, followed by Brett Laurie and Ike Davis. Some of the big boys in this A's lineup.
Last time we saw Luke Gregerson was back at home. Astros going on that winning streak at home. It was August 2nd. His 22nd save going in an inning, giving up one hit through 13 pitches, so he should be well rested.
Question is he sharp as he falls behind 3-0?
Question, isn't it?
It's the life of a closer. If you're going through a losing streak, you're not going to get much work. And that pitch is apparently called high, and that pitch is.
Well, Stephen Vogt didn't even leave the box. I think he might have thought it was a strike also. Either that or he wanted to stay in and hit. We get a chance to look at it on our strike zone. Moves up. You do want that pitch, obviously, if you're an Astro fan. You don't want to walk that leadoff man.
Yeah, that instantly brings the tying run to the plate for the A's, and that's Brett Laurie, who has homered. That came in the 5th inning. The Astros have not turned a double play. Right-hander Edward Mujica warming in the pen for the Oakland A's in the event this game goes further. And now a strike. First one thrown by Gregerson here in the 9th inning.
How about a slider for a ground ball double play?
1. Small crowd in Oakland tonight, but they're making some noise here in the 9th inning. And again, the A's in dead last, not only in the American League West, but in the American League. There's that big swing you fear after the leadoff walk. It's not an easy assignment to be asked to come in after Donaldson leaves, Josh Donaldson, and goes on to the Toronto Blue Jays. But on the whole, Laurie's done a pretty good job with the bat. That defensive side with 20 errors, that's been costly.
Especially when you know how unbelievably good Josh Donaldson is at third base. Donaldson's putting up MVP type numbers.
Now playing alongside Troy Tulowitzki there in Toronto.
It's a decent left side.
And you wonder how much the woes of the A's this year can be laid on all the errors on that left side of the infield.
It's pretty evident when you look at Sonny Gray's win-loss record and you looked at Scott Kazmir's. The win-loss records are pretty ugly, but the ERAs are fantastic.
Ground ball left side. Lowry tries to get an out and throws it into right field. And the A's, with nobody out, will have runners at first and third. It's a fielder's choice and an E5 that allows Stephen Vogt to still be on the bases. And it brings out Brent Strong. And now how big is that second run the Astros picked up? Or rather the third run in the 8th.
Yeah, it's a tough play. If you have not done it too often, these are things that when you watch batting practice, that's when guys really have a chance to work on those things. But I don't want to be too hard on what Jed Lowry's doing over there. He's moving from shortstop to third base. It's tough. You realize the importance of winning games right now. Puts a little more emphasis, and like we said earlier, it magnifies each play. That was a tough play, and an out has to be made.
And now you don't worry about Stephen Vogt so much down at third base. You just go after business otherwise as Ike Davis comes to the plate. Davis 0 for 2 with a walk. The A's have struggled here at home, but making it tough here in the 9th inning. And that pitch not even close. It's really that leadoff walk that sets up everything here in the inning.
I just don't think too many things are easy for the Astros right now. They need to hold on a little bit. They can grind out this win. That would be huge, obviously, but nothing coming easy. I would gladly trade 2 outs for a run given up right here. Get that ground ball in a heartbeat. Roll that thing over.
Haven't seen a double play on either side tonight. Two balls and a strike. Gregerson looking for his 23rd save. base hit. That'll score a run. Brett Lawrie will head to third base. He is the tying run. And there's still nobody out here in the ninth inning. Pinch runner for the Oakland A's down at first base. They will bring on Sam Fuld, the outfielder for the A's. He'll pinch run. And he represents the go-ahead winning run here in the ninth inning. It's a 4-3 game as that walk comes in to score. And, of course, aided by the E5. Eight-hitter Marcus Semien at the plate. And this is the point where, as the infield comes in halfway at short and second, you got to be able to make a play at the plate if needed. At this point, you need that out there instead of the double play. Now, Luke Gregerson, the former Oakland A, struggling here in the ninth. Gregerson served as one of the setup men for the A's last year, had just 3 saves.
Look at the defense setup, and you notice where Altuve and Correa are. They're talking about it right now. They're kind of playing a little bit more shallow than that normal double play depth. And I guarantee you, if a ball is hit to them, they're going to try and cut that run off at home plate, or just at least give Brett Lawrie a look to see what he's doing. Right now, that's the focus. Try and keep that tying run from scoring.
1-2 the count. How big a strikeout or pop-up would be right here.
And that's what I was thinking too. And you could see that the defense will probably change if a strikeout does occur or pop-out. You find a way to get that one out in this inning and keep this first and third situation alive. Then you create a double play at the middle to get out of this game.
Strike 3 called inside corner. Caught looking Semien. And you cannot overstate how big that out can be here in the ninth.
No, that's massive. And the fact you get him looking is even bigger. Cannot strike out looking right here. You know that Gregerson has a great slider as a right-handed hitter. And yes, kind of locks you up a little bit on the inside, but you've got to be able to fight it because you know that slider's coming back over the plate.
1 out. Runners at first and third. The 9-hitter Eric Sogard at the plate. And now how does Bob Melvin play it? Does he consider a squeeze here?
Well, still, it's that first and third situation where you create that safety squeeze if you bunt that ball towards first base. And yes, Marwin Gonzalez is playing first. He's got a little more experience than Valbuena did.
And now the double play can end the ball game.
Sogard is grounded into 7 double plays and 288 at bats coming into this game.
Eight's a nice round number. The count.
A's have gone to take mode, really forcing Gregerson to pitch into the zone.
That might have been a ball.
Yeah, I agree. Aggressive in that 2-0 count. We talked about it all the time. If you're guessing a pitch and you get it, the tendency is to swing at it no matter where it is.
Sogard hitting .247. And now a 3-1 count. Leadoff man Billy Burns waits on deck. And he's a guy with enough speed that the double play becomes quite difficult.
You get a guy that runs like that, you just worry about getting an out.
So you almost at that point have to think of coming back in somewhat to get the out at the plate.
Yeah.
3-2.
It was an elusive fastball right there.
Big moment on both sides. Runner goes from first as it's fouled back. As well as Castro has thrown, if you got that strikeout, you throw on through to second base and try to get the strikeout, throw him out to end the game.
Say it's a tough call because you've got Laurie at third base, not a bad runner, but he can still run a little bit. You risk that double steal. But for me, I don't know how you feel as a catcher. My primary concern is to keep Laurie at third base.
That's true. If you can end the ball game pretty large. There goes the runner, pitch outside. So it's a moot point. The bases are loaded with 1 out for the speedy Billy Burns. And now 2 walks in the inning for Gregerson. And you've gotten to the point now where a base hit can win the game for the A's.
When you saw AJ trying to point out where the guys in the middle are going to play, you know the corners are going to play in. Cut that runner off at home plate, but you've got to be concerned because that winning run is at second base. If you play the infield all the way in, you're expanding the area for a guy to get a hit, or you're increasing the odds of him getting a hit. So I think if they play in that shallower double play depth, might be the way to go. Because if that ball's hit hard enough, they do have the ability to turn it on Burns.
Hit to second. Altuve will try to get the double play, and they don't get it. And the A's tie the game. A.J. Hinch is coming out. And I would assume he's coming out to ask about a replay at first base.
That was pretty darn close.
Trey Hillman on the phone to find out about it. But it looks for the moment.
You've got to challenge it no matter what.
Like the A's have tied the game, and now 3 umpires coming together. So it's the umpires making this decision to check it.
It's safe.
But yeah, that would certainly have appeared to me to have been safe at first. And if he is safe, which I believe they will confirm, we've got a tie game. And that's exactly what we talked about. You finally get the ground ball, but it comes with Burns at the plate.
And the way the ball was hit, it was chopped. Altuve could not come in and charge it as hard as he wanted to if he wanted to come home. Because if he would have gotten the in-between hop and may have not fielded it as cleanly as he did. But Correa's arm made this play extremely close, even though I do believe that Billy Burns beat it out. How about the exchange from Correa too? Quick hands. Disappointing, yes. And you know what? That's all Billy Burns was trying to do. He was trying to do nothing more than just slap that ball on the ground and tie it up.
Yep.
I'm actually surprised they're taking this long.
I am too. A couple of walks in the inning. There was the E5, the throwing error on Jed Lowry. And I see no way that that's going to get overturned at first base. The Astros took a 2-run lead. He is safe. It's a tie game. RBI fielder's choice for Billy Burns. And now his speed at first base. And I don't know if the Astros would even bother throwing through. His run means nothing.
And that's not a swing that's trying to do anything other than chop that ball in play. He wanted to make sure that ball got down early, allowing Laurie to get a good jump from third base.
So you've got Ike Davis down at third base. That's actually Sam Fuld, the pinch runner, who's at third base. Burns at first, 2 outs for Coco Crisp, who's had a long night, 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. So taking off predictably, Billy Burns picks up a stolen base.
He is meaningless. All he's doing right there is getting out of a force out situation at second base.
Sometimes that's the only play you have. A ball and a strike on Crisp. It's the 4th blown save now for Gregerson, but now it's about trying to keep it tied here at 4. The Astros came in here back in April and swept the A's in some tough, close ball games. A's trying to turn it right back on them. Hit high and deep to right field. Rasmus back at the track and makes the catch. So Crisp hits it well, but not enough. And in the bottom of the 9th inning, the Oakland A's come up with 2 runs to tie it. It's 4-4 going to the 10th. Long Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side. Then we go to extra innings. A 4-4 game. There's your starting pitcher for tomorrow night for the Astros, Dallas Keuchel. The Astros had a 4-2 lead taking to the bottom of the 9th inning. And a leadoff walk, a costly error. Charged to Jed Lowry. Another walk in the inning, and when it was all said and done, the A's had tied it. Edward Mujica now comes on to pitch the 10th for the A's.
Turned into their closer. Got a good changeup.
10th extra inning game for the Astros this year. They're 4-5 in the previous 9. In the Astros pen, it's Will Harris now getting loose. Jose Altuve 2 for 4 tonight. And make it 3 for 5. 3 consecutive hits for Jose as he gets things started in strong fashion here in the 10th.
And again, aggressive early in the counts. It's good to see from Jose Altuve getting that stroke back. This is much how the 8th inning started.
Mark Hanna, you just saw there, the new first baseman for the A's. And now Carlos Gomez. Altuve has stolen a base tonight to go with those 3 hits. 29 bags on the year, leading the league. Carlos Gomez had a first inning bunt single and scored the first Houston run. Since then, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, and tries to bunt again and fouls it back. Watch Jose Altuve again now. Again, 3 consecutive solid hits for Jose.
Kind of got off the end of the bat.
Yeah.
Hits are hits.
Take them all, love them all. There goes Altuve. Pitch out, the throw's high, and Altuve has number 30 on the year.
How did Vogt end up on his chest? It's a full-on yard sale at home plate. Good job by Altuve. Stealing early enough in the count. Pitch out, good pitch to throw on. Man down.
He can spit from any position.
How did he get down there? Catch a spike in the left-handed batter's box, maybe.
So nobody out. Altuve in scoring position, and a bunt to the mound. Altuve will get to third base, a sacrifice bunt for Gomez, and now Altuve representing the go-ahead run 90 feet away for Carlos Correa. And I don't know, can you see the A's pitching to Correa here?
No.
Now batting, number 1, Carlos Correa.
They can't, can they?
They've got to give him the
fire.
I just can't imagine. Infield draws in. I thought they would walk in, play for the double play.
Well, it's going to be one of those situations where they pitch around him early, he is still considered a rookie, even though he continues to crush baseballs all over the place. And I'm actually surprised they threw a fastball right there. This is a look back at that home run that put the Astros ahead. Big spot, big man, big hit.
Two-0 the count. Correa 2 for 3 tonight. Also has walked. 14 homers, 36 RBIs. And a 3-0 count. Green light time?
Yeah. I'm still thoroughly shocked that they've thrown 3 fastballs even in the vicinity.
I am too. But pleased. Popped up on the infield. Oh dear, on the 3-0. And he got a fastball to hit. Canha makes the play, second out. And now it's up to Jed Lowry, who made that costly error in the bottom of the ninth.
The reality of it is you can't put it on him every at bat, but he had himself in a good situation. The fastball maybe just a little bit elevated.
Well,
but still a good swing on it.
I think you take that every time with Carlos Correa.
Oh, I'm taking my chances. Jed Lowry has a chance to give a little payback, and look at it, just cuts under it just a hair because the barrel is on it.
Yes. Yeah, Carlos can't believe it.
And that's an okay reaction in that situation right there.
That's disbelief more than anything. Jed Lowry trying to put the Astros in front. 2 outs.
A good chance at a revenge AB for Jed Lowry to put his Astros on top and to redeem himself for the error that happened in the bottom of that 9th inning.
And I'll just say further on the Correa swing on the 3-0. Who in this lineup would you rather more have in that situation with a chance to take that hat?
It's a tough call. Evan Gattis has done good in RBI situations throughout the course of the year, but it's got to be Carlos Correa.
0-2 the count now. Pensive bench for the Astros. And Conger working on his next pitching performance.
Mujica has that changeup split finger. Altuve dancing well down the line there. Puts a lot of pressure on Vogt. Knock that thing down if he buries it.
I'm stunned that Correa even saw one fastball near the plate in that at bat.
Yeah, they're playing with fire.
Counts full. Colby Rasmus waits on deck.
That situation will change in years to come if he continues to come up in big moments. They will just go ahead and pass on by him.
Well, I think 29 teams in Major League Baseball may have done the same right now. It hurts when you make that error that enables the opposition to get back even. It's Colby. Altuve, 3 consecutive hits. Line drive down the left side. That'll drop. Altuve will score. Lowry digs for second. And he's in there with the slide. A very big 2-out RBI double. And the Astros take the 5-4 lead.
The agony and the ecstasy of this game. The agony of making that error, giving it up. Now you got a chance to redeem yourself. Baseball's a game of redemption. Playing every day, you have a tough day one day, wake up the next day, you have a chance to make up for it. And then you go inning by inning. Jed Lowry making a big error at third base led to a couple runs for the Oakland Athletics. Of course he finds himself in a situation where he has a chance to redeem himself, and he takes advantage of it. That was a heck of an at-bat. Good for him.
Carlos Gomez had the sacrifice bunt that kind of set things up a bit. Love those shots where you can see the intensity of the guys on the bench.
Well, these guys are invested. They're in.
The Astros trying to win their 61st on the year. Drew Pomerantz now left-hander throwing in the pen for the A's.
Hard to believe Carlos Gomez is that emotional.
That's the reputation, and nothing's changed.
He is passionate.
High drive center field to his left. Billy Burns puts it away, and that'll do it. But the Astros come up with a big run and do it with 2 outs on the double by Jed Lowry and lead it 5-4 going to the bottom of the 10th. Inning, and this has been a tough one, and you can see how much it means to both clubs. But for the Astros to start the long road trip, 9-gamer over 10 games, losing 3 in Arlington, and then to have a 4-2 lead, get away in the 9th inning, and then battle back in the 10th inning with 2 outs, get that run. It's really special for this club.
I don't think we've ever doubted how these guys constantly fight the Houston Astros. We saw in that first game in Texas where they gave up 11 runs, but they continued to battle back and put good at bats together and scored 9 runs, getting extremely close. But I believe 12 tonight. I'm sorry. These guys are going to fight. They've got the tools to do it too.
Will Harris now will work it on the hill for the Astros in the 10th inning and face the 3, 4, 5 spots for the A's. Josh Reddick 0 for 4 on his night. And riding an 0 for 18. And he finds the hole on the shift and gets things started with the base hit.
Good piece of hitting.
Snaps an 0 for 18.
Now that is designated for 16, Billy Butler.
And now the cleanup man, Billy Butler, at the plate. 0 for 3 with a walk. And this is your ideal candidate for the double play.
Couldn't agree more.
Ground ball back to the mound. Harris tries to get it started. Altuve finishes it off. And a 1-4-3 double play as the bases are empty. And now 2 down here in the bottom of the 10th.
Called it. That a boy, Ash.
You had the big one earlier with Correa.
That is nice. Great play by Will Harris, by the way. Hard throwing, big right-hander. Does a good job of gloving that. Great feed to Altuve. Plenty of time to double up Billy Butler.
Could not have asked for better right there. Talk about rally killers. Stephen Vogt now comes to the plate. It's a 1-run game. And Vogt homered back in the 2nd. Vogt is the guy who got the 9th inning started as he drew a walk on 4 pitches against Gregerson.
Those extra innings means extra slices. Hang in there, boys.
Gourmet stuff.
So I guess that's how you stay up late.
We don't begrudge you guys a bit as we sit here and slave in the booth in Oakland.
I don't know how that pizza would be on this carpet anyways.
Just outside. 2-1 the count. Astros trying to snap a real rough run on the road, losing 11 of the last 12 road games, and now a 2-2 count. So you didn't figure it would go any easier than this. 3-2 on Vogt. Brett Laurie waits on deck, the other guy that is homered tonight for the A's. Line shot on a hot glove from the knees and gets up to throw Altuve, and that'll do it. A key double play in the inning, and then this play by Altuve, and the Astros come into Oakland in the first of 4 and manage to win in extra innings. And this one a big game for the Astros that takes 3 hours and 37 minutes. Carlos Correa hits his 14th on the year, and a whole lot of good stuff going on.
Ball was well struck, but Altuve in the right spot, and you can see the anticipation of that Astros dugout. Able to come out and throw some high fives around on the road is a beautiful thing for them.